You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
What is going on, good people? Well, we don't even have the lights fired up. What am I doing here? We got to get all the different lighting and stuff going on here. Sorry about that. Okay, we're all fired up now. Everything's good to go. Oh my God, what a crazy week, number 7. I mean, we still got the Monday night game to go, but what an absolutely just I feel blasted. You feel blasted. We all feel a mixed bag of good and bad. I got the fireplaces going because I feel like some of the Moon Men are on fire. I feel like some of our rosters are on fire because we've lost Breece Hall. We've lost Javonte Williams. The crazy part about it is, and this is what I try and tell people on the text line, which you can get at thefantasyfootballshow.com, by the way. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com to get your year-round rankings, your bold predictions, your one-on-one text advice with your boy Smitty. Your one-on-one on-demand text advice with me. But what I've been telling a lot of people the last couple days is this. I've been saying, look, I understand that you're feeling defeated. I understand you lost Javonte and Breece Hall, but you still got ETN, you still got Kenneth Walker, or some version of that. You've got Pearson, ETN. You've got all these different players that other people don't have. You were insightful enough to roster all these players. No one, the one thing I'll tell you, because I'll tell you, you're not going to hear it from your league mates. You're not going to hear it from your league mates, but you're going to hear it from me. Your league mates don't know how close they flew to the sun. They almost got burned. Because if you didn't lose Breece Hall, if you didn't lose Javonte Williams, they wouldn't have stood a chance. Now they stand a chance, but you're still going to win. I'm still going to help you win. You're going to help everybody else in here win. We're going to help each other because that's what we do. And if you don't win, we'll figure it out. We'll get you back stronger, better than ever next year. But I want to tell you this one time because I want you to understand it. Your league mates, no one's going to tell you this but me. You need to hear it. Your team was so good. When you had Breece Hall on your roster, your team didn't, your league mates didn't know how good your team was, and you were coming for them, and they had no idea how close they came to getting blasted. And it sucks because I know a lot of you, will never hear that from your league mates. So I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you that your team was better than anybody even realized. And for those that lost Javonte and Breece Hall, like me, like so many people, ETN, get on your horse, big dog. Get on your horse. Take us to the moon. Kenneth Walker, get on your horse, big dog.
To the moon.
And in case you don't know, the Skywalker. This is so sad. Just seeing that makes me want to. I still love wearing my Breece's Pieces shirt. I don't care. I'm wearing it. I'm not. But this Kenneth Skywalker apparel is available. Link in the live chat pinned. Link is in the bio as well. But Kenneth Skywalker, can we all take a moment to relish? We've been depressed and we're gonna be mourning for weeks on end. But let's all take a moment to relish in the man that is Skywalker, Kenneth Skywalker.
Mashed potatoes!
I mean, really, this guy brought the fire. This guy's an absolute monster. And for those that have him, you're looking good right now. You got ETN and Kenneth Skywalker still, even though you lost Breece Hall. Raise your hand. That's the one solace I have. Look, I feel responsible when my people lose a big dog. And I've beat a dead horse on Breece Hall so much. I feel responsible. I feel down. Like, you think you feel down. Imagine carrying all this weight for everybody else on your shoulders. And I'm not trying to complain, or I don't need an attaboy, or I don't want a cookie or flowers or anything like that. No one needs to buy me a coffee. I'm merely saying that I understand your pain, and then I understand it even more so because I've got a lot of that on my shoulders. The one solace I have is that if you've been following this show, then you know this.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop
If you follow the show,
loads in outer space.
You've got ETN, you've got Pierce, you've got Walker, you've got some sort of variation of what's going on. You have some sort of variation about what's going on with this group right here. You know what I mean? Like, so I have solace in that. I feel very good about that. But at the same time, it's still a lot of weight, and so like I'm gonna be down for a little bit, a day or two. Give me 48 hours before I bounce back to full energetic Smitty, because it's a lot. I swear, I take it to my grave that Javonte and Breece Hall were both going to be top 5 running backs on the season. Both of them were top 5, not top 7, not top 10. We're talking top 5. Javonte was set up perfectly. Everybody worried about Melvin Gordon this, Melvin Gordon that. Look at the running back room right now. They're begging somebody to just take over the full-time job. If Javonte was there, it would be a cakewalk. He'd be getting 90% of the volume. It was set up perfectly. The luck on that. But then, okay, and then the Breece Hall. Like, Breece Hall became the number 1 running back in fantasy football. He became, if you doubted it walking into week number 7, you didn't doubt it by the time the second quarter was midway through, when this man had 4 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown on a 60-plus TD scamper. If you doubted him, than you didn't at that moment. Everybody turned over and said, you know what, never mind, I give up. Breece Hall's the number one running back in the NFL. He's the number one running back in Dynasty. He's the number one running back in 2023 redraft. He was at that moment in time, he was the number one running back going forward. You couldn't trade for him if you wanted to, even if you gave up the number one overall ranked player. Let's say you traded Barkley. You couldn't trade Barkley for Breece Hall coming out of this game had he finished it. He was on 72 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown, coming off of all the hype. It just makes me angry. It makes me angry. I can't help it. I'm angry. You can be angry. I'm angry. We're all angry. It's okay to be a little bit angry. But we do have to bounce back. We do have to adjust and adapt. We will do that. We are doing that. It's okay. We can mourn a little bit as we do it. But what I want to help you with today is, how do you get out of a situation that looks dire? How do you figure out a way to fix this the best that you can? Another thing I want to tell you is this, okay? Pep talk time. You may be feeling like you can't get out of this. You may be feeling like, why me? Why me? The luck on this, hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. We got 300 people in here and only 86 thumbs up. Here's a little pep talk for you, okay? Everything in life, if you can look at it from a positive perspective, all of this kind of stuff can lead to good. I know that doesn't feel like it right now. I know it doesn't feel like how the heck are we gonna turn things around? But make you do something you wouldn't have normally done. I always give you this example. If you get a speeding ticket and then you think, why me? $300, $400. Now I got to go to traffic school. Oh my God, I got a speeding ticket. Why me? What a horrible day. You got to think about it like this. Make that speeding ticket make you do something you wouldn't have done had you not gotten a speeding ticket. Meaning, maybe you're more careful running that yellow light next time, and you avoid a fatal accident because you got a speeding ticket. Maybe you avoided a fatal crash 1 mile down the road because you were being looked out for and you were pulled over and given a $300 speeding ticket. My point is that it seems grim right now, but there usually is, if you can let it, a positive emerge from a negative. And maybe you work the waiver wire differently than you've ever worked before. Maybe this curbs your fantasy football skill set ability, your crafting, your scouting, your draft ability, your trade ability. Maybe this turns you into some kind of fantasy football monster going forward because you're hungry. You're hungrier than ever. Just turn it into a positive. Figure out a way to do things you normally wouldn't have done. Whether it's a trade, whether it's taken. Let me give you an example. Do you know how many people came in here and told me, Smitty, it's over, Javonte went down, what am I going to do? You know what you did? You know what a lot of you did? You know what a lot of us did? We came in here, we said, how can we turn one player into two? How do we turn one player into somebody and ETN? Oh, ETN, what's ETN going to do for you? Get ETN. ETN can solve your Javonte problem. If you're to trade Nick Chubb for a wide receiver like... I don't know, someone like Adams and ETN. Well, why would I trade Nick Chubb, who's the number 1 or number 2 running back, Smitty, for Adams, who you probably draft around 8, 9, or 10, and then get ETN? What's ETN going to do for me? Look what ETN did for you. If you made that trade, you completely wiped out the Javonte Williams injury. If you traded Nick Chubb for Devontae Adams and ETN, the Javonte Williams injury, you might be a better team than you were pre-Javonte Williams injury. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, I know at this stage in the game, a lot of us don't have the depth to even do that at this point. You lose Javonte. Some of you have lost Javonte and Hall on the same team. Some of you still have ETN and Kenneth Walker still. Why might you have that package? Well, because...
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Many of you do have Burrow and Javonte. Or you had Javonte. You had Hall. You had Pierce, or you still have Pierce. You have ETN. And there's ways out of this. I will say this. I'll say, if you're looking for a solution, and you have Kenneth Walker and ETN, or Damian Pierce and ETN, or Damian Pierce and Kenneth Walker, don't overthink it. You could still roll in to the remaining weeks with those two guys as your top 2 running backs. ETN's on the rise. the question we have right here is, how do we take one player, let's say, how do we take, oh man, I was going to use that. Let's see here. Let me, these are some waiver wire guys I was going to write down for tonight, but let me take a photo of this before I wipe it. How do you take a player like, let's see, I'm going to get to the super chats in a minute, guys. Just hang tight. How do you take a player like, let's say, somebody give me a player that they want to trade to get out of this Hall mess. So you have one player, you want to turn it into two. Let's use somebody's real life example and try and figure out what we could do, what kind of player navigating we can do, what kind of swappage we can do to try and get into a better situation. So somebody give me one big player they want to trade away. Okay, so let's say Chubb. Steele wants to know Chubb, and let's use Chubb. So if you're trading Chubb away, and remember, the way to get out of this before was to take Chubb and turn him into an Adams, which is a downgrade, or especially was weeks ago, and get ETN. And look what that did for you. If you did that, you salvaged your season. You turned your Javonte Williams injury into not even a concern or worry, because you ended up getting Nick Chubb, who is so on the rise, it's not even funny. Now, ETN might still be, I'm sorry, you traded your Nick Chubb for ETN. Yeah, ETN, who's on the rise. You might still be able to get ETN in the right kind of deal. It's possible. Okay, so someone said trade CMC. Someone said trade Cook. And someone said trade, we'll do these ones next. Someone said, what if you were to trade Walker? Okay, so we'll do those next. I'll put that over that so you guys don't think that that's part of this. I don't want to confuse anybody. So ETN still may be attainable. Like, let's say you were trading Nick Chubb right now. We could put ETN in here, who is gaining value by the second, but he's still going to get better and better. So let's say you could get rid of Chubb for St. Brown, who's been, disappointing his owners like crazy, and he might potentially be questionable for this week. Now, if you've got no ability to make this trade based on wins and losses, and you can't afford another loss, it might be tough for you to do. But if you've got a decent record, you could maybe turn Nick Chubb into ETN and St. Brown. If you can't get ETN, then you could always go after a player like, if I'm thinking of a name that still makes sense in this buy low capacity, it would be maybe Najee. Najee's pretty cheap right now. I don't think his owners view him as anything more than a very late RB2 or maybe even super high-end flex value type of player. You got players like Miles Sanders coming off a bye week where people may have forgot how much he's been doing lately. You could go after a Joe Mixon potentially and a St. Brown. Now, if nobody's going to give St. Brown, then you could go in a direction where Aaron Jones was the perfect buy low last week. Aaron Jones, boom. That was the perfect buy low last week. The week before that, Pittman exploded. Week before that, Gabe Davis exploded. The week before that, Eckler. We're essentially like 5 out of 5 for picking like the best, buy low of the week. Now, JT's actually been my buy low lately, who hasn't exploded back yet, but I still fully believe he will return to pretty much close to his old value. He might be a little more inconsistent, but Ellinger is coming in to start for the Colts, and everybody's fearful of that, and they think, oh my God, he's gonna. Let me see if I can find that piece of news. So this was reported earlier. If you didn't hear, is this it right here? I don't know if this is it. It's the Breece Hall injury news, unfortunately. This one right here, yeah, here it is. So Ellinger is going to start in place of Matt Ryan. And this isn't related to the shoulder injury. The shoulder injury certainly put this into motion, right? But essentially, the Colts are saying, we don't care about the contract. We don't care about the shoulder. They've come out and said, we will be starting, according to the sources, we will be starting Ellinger go forward no matter what the status of Matt Ryan's shoulder is. And so a lot of people are freaking out about that. And that's a good thing. Look, you can't be worse than Matt Ryan was on Sunday. Ellinger coming in is going to potentially, now this is a quarterback that a lot of teams, according to Ian Rappaport and a couple other sources, a lot of teams were potentially interested in, whether they actually made an offer or not, or maybe just a phone call, we don't know. It was per source. We know how that goes. But I'm hearing from multiple people that there were teams interested in Ellinger, and that's how much a lot of these NFL teams see him or view him, how highly valued he might be, even without knowing what he's really all about yet. My point is that this kid coming in to play and start for the Colts isn't as disastrous as it might appear. We see this happen all the time where a quarterback comes in and plays a lot better than people think. Look at Zappy. Look at Geno Smith this year. Look at previous years where Russell Wilson rose up. Think Russell Wilson of old. Don't think of Russell Wilson now. Dak Prescott. This is how Dak Prescott got his rise. This happens all the time. It's not something that's very, very, very rare. This happens more frequently than you think. So Ellinger coming in is actually a good move for JT, in my opinion. Now, granted, we don't know how Pittman and Ellinger are going to hook up and how that rapport is going to look. But if I'm in this situation where I have Nick Chubb and I just lost Breece Hall next to him, because that was one of the examples, would I take Pittman and JT even if they're on the same team, even if they're potentially going down on the same ship? Yeah, I would. I would take Pittman. I would take Pittman and JT for Nick Chubb in a heartbeat. Pittman's one of the few players that has that ETN feel from a few weeks back. I like ETN a lot more. I don't mean to make this equal sign represent the value in total, but in terms of the buy low ability going into this week number 8, I told you to get ETN on the cheap. If you lost Javonte, this was a part of a few solutions, one of my favorite solutions, because he could ultimately replace Javonte. You lost Javonte. ETN could be a throw-in in any trade and actually replace Javonte's numbers and be just as good as Javonte would have been. Now he is. He's on the rise. He's getting to that point, and we still want to see him do it, and we still want to see him feed this man. He's so ultra efficient. He's electric out there. I absolutely love what I'm seeing out there on the field with ETN, and I'm sure you are too. So ETN's fantastic. I just think Pittman is the closest thing that we can find that's at the wide receiver position. Of course, Gabe Davis, if you could steal him away, he would qualify as well. It really is Pittman right now when I'm looking at the entire list of medium range wide receivers. As far as running backs go, if we're trying to buy a running back, I would say Swift is probably one of my top targets if I'm going after an RB. I would say if I had to pick, Mixon's in the mix, no pun intended. But this is a triple check mark. This is a maybe 1.5 to 1 check mark in terms of what we'll call 3 check marks. Amazing. And 2 check marks, we'll call that good. And then 1 check mark will be so-so. So this is an amazing go get right now, like a solution maker. Aaron Jones was that. He's no longer attainable probably at a low price. Brian Robinson, B-Rob's pretty good. I would say B-Rob is definitely at least 1 or maybe 1.5 check marks. You can't even see that, I'm sorry. B-Rob, we'll put him right here. B-Rob is at least 1 to 1.5 check marks. He's got a lot of opportunity, but then you also have Gibson kind of re-emerging a little bit, so we don't really know what that's all about or how that's going to shake out. It really is thin out there. We'll have to see what Stevenson does in tonight's game. A.J. Dillon is, I know a lot of people are going to say that he's garbage, but A.J. Dillon is somebody that you want to understand what you're getting in A.J. Dillon. You're getting a player that may do nothing until his number is called upon, a.k.a. injury to A.J. Aaron Jones, which is not the craziest thing to imagine. So he's a potential good throw-in, and you hold A.J. Dillon, and then if Aaron Jones were to go down, I'm not wishing injury upon anybody, but he is an injury-prone player, then A.J. Dillon would go from rags to riches immediately. The minute Aaron Jones goes down, if he goes down, immediately. Pollard is another wide receiver or running back that you could go after. I think Pollard, his ability to start, upcoming games is in the cards. How likely, I don't know. Miles Sanders, those for running backs, it really is a thin group. There's not a ton of great buy lows out there. At wide receiver, Debo is potentially a decent buy low. He's also a concern. I'd say Debo is a decent bet. So like let's say you're getting rid of a Nick Chubb, or let's use one of the other names. So someone said CMC. Let's say you have CMC and you want to get rid of CMC. What package is going to help you most get over a big devastating injury like Breece Hall? Probably, if I had to pick, I'd say maybe you get, even though I hate the idea of Debo's value plummeting with CMC in town, but let's just say you were to get Debo and a Mixon, or let's say you were to get Swift and potentially St. Brown, which may seem unlikely to a lot of you. I think St. Brown, my two favorite go-gets probably of the higher variety are going to be Swift and St. Brown. One of my favorite go-gets of the lower range variety would be Pittman. So these are my three favorite go-gets right now. Okay? My three favorite go-gets walking into the remainder of the season at both a higher level, Swift and St. Brown, and at a lower level, Pittman. If I had to guess. I also like Pollard a little bit. Pollard has a little bit of that ETN feel to him. So, I mean, these are just some of the ways to try and navigate what's going on. And if we say Walker, if you had to trade Walker, which I don't want you to trade Walker, but if you've got nothing else, you have Breece Hall, you have Javonte, you're losing everything, and you got to trade Kenneth Walker. You can get a Swift and a St. Brown. If you've got to throw something in, so be it, but you could get a Swift and a St. Brown. I'm not saying I love the idea. I don't want to fix what isn't broken. I don't want anybody making a trade they shouldn't make. I'm merely telling you that if you are playing for second place or worse, you better make a move. Who's B-Rob? Brian Robinson, yes. You better make a move. Plain and simple. And I'm going to take a few of the super chats right now while we're waiting. We got a $20 hauler from let's see here. From Life as We Know It. $20 hauler.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Appreciate you, Life as We Know It. Life as We Know It says life is I'm reading his name again. Two games back, I believe is what you're saying there. 2 games back, league starters Mahomes and Carr. Wide receivers are Diggs, A.J. Brown, Gabe Davis. Running backs are Taylor, Mixon, flexes, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, tight ends, Andrews. You're absolute fire, bro. Where do you upgrade? I don't think you need to upgrade at all. A.J. Brown and Diggs are phenomenal. You've already got the bye weeks out of the way on those guys. Like, why would you even mess with that? St. Brown, bye weeks out of the way. Andrews, don't sell him low. The only one I would maybe look to trade would be Mixon. You trade Mixon and B-Rob together for maybe a Swift. You trade Mixon and B-Rob together for maybe, I mean, of course I'd take Kenneth Walker, but you're not going to get him, but why not try? Why not shoot for the moon? Would I take a player like, man, I don't know. I think your team looks great. Mixon's the only one I'd like to maybe upgrade. I'd maybe try and upgrade Mixon into... the thing is, I don't even know what for sure feel... Like you could do with Jacobs. You could do Mixon and a B-Rob for Jacobs if someone would do it. I don't know that they would do it. You could toy around with Henry if you wanted to take that risk. I think Swift, again, is a great player to get into this mix here. He's got the bye week out of the way. That's the only move. You have a fire team, and I think anything else would be dismantling it. So I'm going to go ahead and say keep what you have and roll with it. Damon with the first super chat of the day says, what are we doing with Zeke and CEH? We're selling them. if we can. We're packaging them. Nobody wants either one of them 1-for-1, but when you throw one into a deal, it makes it complicated enough to where somebody's like excited, like, oh, you're going to give me Zeke and let's say a let's use a Debo. You're trying to get rid of Debo. You give Zeke and Debo for one better player in Devontae Adams or even Amon-Ra St. Brown. Zeke and Debo for Amon-Ra. Smitty, why would I do that? St. Brown just got a concussion. Well, if he comes back, okay, so you may want to hold and make sure he's good to go for this week. He may be out another week. So that might not be the best example right now. But let's use another example. Let's say you have Chris Godwin and you got Zeke Elliott. You might be able to squeak out an A.J. Brown using Godwin and Zeke Elliott. You might be able to take Zeke Elliott and package him with maybe a Debo to get a DeAndre Swift potentially, or a running back, a Christian McCaffrey if you want to take a gamble on McCaffrey. I'm okay trading for McCaffrey. I'm also okay with trading away McCaffrey. It really does depend on what you're talking about and what your team looks like and what it is that you're trying to do from one perspective to another. So it depends on your team. But what are you doing with Zeke and CEH? You're packaging them. You're trying to get rid of a CeeDee Lamb with Zeke or CEH for a Devontae Adams who is bye-week free, for St. Brown, if he plays, who's bye-week free, for A.J. Brown, who's bye-week free. You're trying to trade a potential DeAndre Hopkins and Zeke Elliott for an Adams who is bye-week free. Those are all things I'm trying to do if I've got one of these guys. I'm also trying to maybe couple Pacheco and CEH together to secure a flex spot. I'm not afraid of that versus, giving them away for free. Tight end upgrade could work too. Thoughts on Wan'Dale Robinson from New York? Seems like a solid wide receiver 3 moving forward with back-to-back 8 targets in the. Yep, he's good. He's good. He's a wide receiver 3-4 for sure. Bye weeks coming up, injuries. I wouldn't be bashful at all about playing this man as your wide receiver. Should we get the 3 fireplaces going? Let's get the 3 fireplaces going. The only YouTube show out there that has 3 fireplaces in one room. That's right. 3 fireplaces going. Why not? Our moon men are on fire. Why shouldn't we be on fire? Let's go.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Woo! You know. Woo! You know. Woo!
So anyway, back to the question here. It seems like a solid wide receiver moving forward. I agree with you, Scotty. Tyson with the super chat next. Tyson says, Smitty, lost Hall, Javonte, my condolences, my guy. Everything I said to you from the beginning of the show until 32 minutes and 56 seconds in right now applies to you. So I hope a lot of that helped you. Have Brady, Pollard, Dillon, Jamar, Adams, Pittman, Pitts, Hill, Gabe Davis, Garrett Wilson. I don't know if that's Tyreek Hill or Taysom Hill. I assume it's Taysom Hill because he's listed after Pitts, but then you got Gabe Davis after that. So I'm going to assume it's Taysom Hill and not Tyreek Hill. This team right here, you've got some concerns at running back. I get it. What do you do? You try to trade a potential, I would say, Gabe Davis maybe with a Pollard to try and somehow get a Swift. If you can't do that, then you're going to trade potentially a guy like Jamar Chase, and you're going to do similar to what we're talking about here. You take Jamar Chase, bro. You take Jamar Chase, broski. We don't want to do it, but if you've got to do it, you got to do it. You take Jamar Chase, and you turn him into 2 players. And there are a plethora of players right here that feel like they're buy low potential. They're not all the buy lows out there. They're just some of them. Like T. Higgins is available. Debo, T. Higgins, Amon-Ra, Michael Pittman, Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis isn't like extremely buy low, but you have Gabe Davis anyway, right? Yeah. So if you're going after a running back, Swift makes the most sense, but you don't want to just trade Chase for Swift. You want to get something else. You want to get a St. Brown. You want to get a Pittman. And I don't even know that Pittman and Swift are enough. I probably want more than that. I probably don't accept Chase for Swift straight up, but this would be phenomenal. I don't know who has St. Brown or who has Swift or what the Swift owner has or what the St. Brown owner has, but I would start there and I would see if you can do a 2-for-1 package with those two owners and then go from there. Debo could be next. He's a little bit risky. Would I trade Chase for CMC and a Pittman? That's another one of those like ETN type of moves from last week where you're trading away Chubb and you're getting an Adams and you're getting an ETN, and now look at you. Now look at you. Now you're ready to shine. Now it's your time. It's your time to shine. Where's my I don't have it anymore. I don't know. Just don't send bad offers or I'm gonna have to send this out.
If you stop sending me these terrible fantasy football trade offers now, that will be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will tell the commissioner on you.
And when I say don't send bad offers out, I mean don't send bad offers out for your team. You want to send offers out you're taking advantage of the other owner, of course. I'm not about even Steven trades for you and your opponent. I'm worried about you getting one up on your opponent. I'm not worried about your opponent. I don't care if your opponent gets something great back. Granted, you want to keep the relationship strong. You know, if you know you're raking someone over the coals and they don't know what they're doing and you trade with them, you're going to ruin the trust with that. But, like, I want you to win the trade. I'm not about, let's make it even for everybody so everybody's happy. Your job is not to make the other person happy. Your job is to make a trade that has you winning your league. And so that message was the flip side of that. Like, don't send bad trade offers. Come back to me and say, hey, Smitty, I made this trade, and it's a bad trade. Like, don't. You want your owner contacting me and saying, he offered me this garbage, and I hit this button on behalf of your trade offer.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
But it's got to be good enough to where you're not driving the other owner away. So Tyson says, lost Javonte Hall, PPR at Brady, Pollard, Dillon. So try and trade Chase for a Swift and St. Brown package. Obviously, I don't know what they have, but if you find out what they have, you can bring it back to me and we can kind of cook up a trade for that specific owner. I lost Javonte Williams and Hall. Smitty, can you help me? I would love to help you rock out. That entire first 32 minutes is directed exactly to someone like you or me, whoever's lost both of them. But I will certainly help you. We'll open up the phone lines hopefully in a little bit, and we'll attack it. Ted Short dropping a $10 hauler. Ted, appreciate you dropping that $10 hauler. Ted Short probably has a question that follows. Overdue payment. Let's see, Smitty. Other super chat was an overdue payment for Walker and Breece Hall talk this summer. This one's for Rashad White and Lenny. Look, okay. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Thank you very much. Ted Short to the moon. $10 hauler, Teddy. Thank you for the $10 hauler, Teddy. All $10 haulers get a shot to the moon. And I can't thank you enough. Michael CPA's in the house today. Everybody drop a Michael CPA emoji if you could while he's in the building. Matt with a super chat. Smitty, I just got Breece in a trade earlier Sunday morning, and the trade doesn't go through till 2 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I didn't even get to use him. Shaking my head. That's awful, bro. But you couldn't have seen it coming, man. He was on Sunday. I imagine, Matt, like you, like everybody else in here, on Sunday when he took that touchdown run, 60-plus yards to the house, man, and he had 72 yards on 4 carries. I believe that you, like me, like everyone in here, said he's running back one. He's running back one going forward. There's no argument anymore. Stop it. Stop. STAPH. Or whatever the hell that guy spelled it. Stop. Just stop. Because he was the running back one. I don't even want to hear. I don't care what anybody tells me. It doesn't bother me. It just goes in one ear and out the other ear. I'm not even going to listen to it. If you don't think Breece Hall was the running back one in fantasy football the moment that game kicked off and the first quarter ended, the first quarter and a half, you don't even know football. This guy was the running back one. And everybody that's facing us that didn't get to see Breece Hall finish out the year on our rosters, they don't know what was about to hit them. They have no idea. They have no clue what was about to be unleashed on them. And it is what it is. We'll adjust and adapt, but I just want to make it known that every one of you that has Breece Hall, your league mates have no idea what you were going to unfold on them. The devastating Jets fan got Walker, CMC, Pierce, Chubb, 2 and 5. off a 2-game streak. I'm starting Zach Wilson until my Jets lose. I need a tight end. Pitt's rest of team is stacked going forward with Hopkins back. You've got a good squad. You don't even need to react or overreact. You got CMC, Pierce, Walker, Chubb. Depending on your wide receiver room, which I don't see here, I would contemplate a wide receiver trade given your stacked running back room. The player I'd probably most likely trade, I imagine, would be Pierce or, I mean, I'd almost like to. I don't know how I feel about CMC. I would just toy around with ideas and see what the best offers are. Come to us and bring them to us. But you certainly can, unless your wide receivers are absolutely as stacked as your running backs and you're playing in a 4-man league with your grandma. I don't know what else to tell you there, but to stand still because your team's pretty darn good. Trade A.J. Dillon for Rachaad White. Either one could be a league winner if the starter went down. So this is like a who knows. Can we predict if Aaron Jones goes down or Leonard Fournette? We can't. We don't really have an indication as to which one. Both have injury history. Both are injury risks for sure. And both would become top maybe 12 PPR running backs in fantasy football if the starter went down. So I don't really have an answer for you, Ozzy, that's like a clear cut. It's a guess game. Would I rather have A.J. Dillon because I feel like he could? He's not right now, but he could help contribute even if Aaron Jones stays on the field. I do. I think a lot of us thought he was going to do better stand alone without Aaron Jones even being down. But if Aaron Jones goes down, he's a top, 7 to 12 runner. There's a big range there because there's a lot of talent emerging at the running back position. It's tough to gauge what he'd be, even if starting. But I'd say easily 7 to 12. So would I rather have that? Probably. I probably would. But I could understand liking either side of that. Full PPR league, would you rather have DeAndre Swift or Kenneth Walker? Considering Kenneth Walker is, they're both on the Moon Man list, and I love both of them. I think because I'm telling you Kenneth Walker is a top 5 running back, I'm basically saying that this guy's got a shot at being 1 to 5, really. And I'd rather have Kenneth Walker. Now, Swift has had his bye, but he's also banged up, and you're not sure when he's fully going to be 100%. And you don't even have a 100% guarantee he's playing the next game. So Walker probably by a lot. And it's not to say I don't love Swift. They're both on the Moon Men list for a reason. I love both of these guys.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
But, I mean, Walker's on a whole nother level
Space
right now.
Monsters.
Walker's just built different, bro. Walker's just built different. And I think everybody knows it now. No one's acting like they don't know what time it is when it comes to Kenny Walker. Again, life as we know it. Thank you for that $20 holler. Pro 2 with a $5 super chat. Had Brees, but got Tua, Cup, Lamb, Barkley, Pierce, Swift, Schultz, St. Brown, Dylan, Waller. You don't even need to make a trade. You're still fire. You're still absolute fire, bro. St. Brown comes back. That's what you need. You don't even need to make a trade. If I'm making a trade, it's maybe just to get out of Lamb into a little bit safer wide receiver. And what does that look like? A.J. Brown maybe, is what I'm looking to maybe do. But past that, I mean, you're in a holding pattern with that team. I'm not freaking out at all. It's crazy. Some of you look like you have much better squads than you should losing Brees Hall. Chase and Ramondre Harris for Saquon, Pierce, and Juju before the Monday Night Football. How'd I do? So Chase, Ramondre, and Harris for Saquon, Pierce, and Juju. I mean, you could argue this a couple different ways, my guy. We don't fully know. Let me get this game on my phone here too. The pregame on this. We don't fully know what we're looking at here. This game's on what network is this game going to be on? Let me pull up my TV on my phone here. So I would say Chase, Ramondre, Harris for Saquon, Pierce, and Juju. I would probably say Saquon, Pierce, and Juju I like more. But it's a tough thing to break down because if in fact you get what we think we might get out of Ramondre Stevenson, that side of the trade could win it. But I think because Pierce is arguable with Chase, I mean Chase is higher ranked, but then you have Saquon, or you could say Saquon's higher ranked or equal to Chase. You could say they're equal, but let's say he's a little bit higher. Pierce definitely is a better value than Ramondre and Harris, I think. So I'm going to take that side. But it's close enough to argue, I think. And I think a lot of people in here would probably say it's a pretty close decision. We're going to open up the phone lines in a minute. We have about 600 people in here, only 160. We have 607 and 168 thumbs up. So punch that thumb up button. Hopkins for Pierce, stacked at wide receiver, St. Brown and Debo. I would take Pierce all day long, bro. He's already at his bye week, too. So give me Damian Pierce over Hopkins in this situation and pretty much in any situation. And if anything, I just trade Pierce if I need a different player because he's going to get you more in return if you trade Pierce than Hopkins. I like Hopkins, but I take Pierce all day long. Juju, dynasty trade value. I don't think anybody's going to give you a ton off of Juju's small emergence here. But if you can get, I'm not trading anybody for a second rounder. Who cares about second rounders? You know, we wipe our feet on second and third rounders, right? You're not going to be making moves for second round picks. I'm not saying that a couple of second round picks can't be turned into a first round, and I don't see the value in that. But I'd rather trade them for players. I'd rather go buy low on a Pittman right now. I'd rather go buy low on a potential A.J. Dillon or Pollard or something like that if you don't need wide receivers and you got Juju. I'm not going after second round picks that might be a nothing burger. So definitely explore trading Juju for players, I would say, not for second round picks. If you could turn Juju and a second round pick into a first round pick, then I do that all day long. Hold Lamb, Debo, Cook, and Carter, or sell. I think all three of them are concerns for me to some degree or another. I'm least concerned about Lamb. Lamb's been doing really well all year. Dak is back. There's some up and down rapport turmoil, issues, I think, at times there with the connection and the touchdown opportunities. But I would say that I'm worried more about Cook than I'm worried about any of them because I feel like Dalvin Cook doesn't fit in this Minnesota Vikings passing attack built offense that looks a lot like the Rams offense that they molded it after, which leaves the running back a little to be desired in terms of volume. And you have Dalvin Cook salvaging his fantasy games with long breakout touchdown runs that you can't count on from week to week. So I worry about all these. Deebo Samuel, his volume is going to go down because guess what? He's not going to run as much because McCaffrey's in town and Shanahan's misusing everybody. And Jimmy G doesn't know how to facilitate the football and they can't score more than 20 points on a given game. So where's Deebo's value going to be? How is Deebo going to stay consistent? So I'm trading Deebo away. Am I going and getting Swift? Another risky player? Sure. But I take Swift, bye week out of the way. St. Brown, bye week out of the way. Other players that I would maybe go get in this context would be obviously Kenneth Walker, but no one's trading you Kenneth Walker for Cook. You could try. You could try to throw somebody on top of Cook and see if you can get a one Kenneth Walker for your two players in case all they got is Kenneth Walker and they've been struck with injury and they're vulnerable. So there's definitely that option. Fane with the super chat. Give Sutton for ETN. What do I look like, Fane? This one, like, as much as I love you and I think you've got thick enough skin that you can handle this and not get mad at me, but you need to take a lap for even asking this question. I'm sorry. The fact that you asked me that, Fane, you know how much I value ETN. He's my guy. He's my dude. He's one of the Moon Men. For goodness sake, do you see Sutton on this list of Moon Men?
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Do you see Sutton on that list, Fane? No, you don't. Go get ETN. And Fane, if you end up pulling this off, you come back. We're not only going to give you a got him.
Got him.
We're going to make you the magician of the day currently if you can pull that off, bro. So please keep us updated if for any reason you're able to get this ETN for Sutton business done, because that's phenomenal. That's doing work, bro. That's doing some massive work. $10 hauler
To the moon.
from Cuberham. Appreciate you. Cuberham says, I have Joe Burrow, Swift, Pierce, ETN, B-Rob, White, Chase, St. Brown, MT, 4 and 3. Should I go after JJ or Hill? If so, what should I trade? Great show, my guy. Appreciate you, Cuberham. Bro, your team's stacked. Pierce and Swift, bye week free. ETN, let's go. B-Rob, fantastic fourth running back. Chase, St. Brown, you're on your way. Pitts, hold him, don't drop him. Do you go after JJ? I would maybe go after JJ, but at what cost, bro? Would I trade Chase for him straight up? Yes, because you already have JJ off his bye week, so I would do that. Do I want T. Hill? I do and I don't. It depends on what it would cost me. Could I give away, a Pierce and then have, the 3 running backs that you have and potentially start, Chase, St. Brown and Tyreek Hill over instead of having Pierce in the lineup. But that's just balancing things different. I don't know that you even need to do that trade. And I think Pierce is arguable across for Hill. But I think that, could you get JJ for Pierce? Sure, I would do that, but you're not going to get that. But, would I do that? Absolutely. Would I trade Swift for JJ? I absolutely would. And have Pierce and Travis Etienne and B-Rob as your starting running backs as long as you can start all 3 wide receivers. Past that, man, your team is absolute fire. And I don't think you need to actually make any trades. But I certainly would explore those. And JT I would explore as well. Would I take JT for Pierce? I'd probably rather have JT. I think I'd take the gamble on JT. Some people might not, and you know how much I love Dameon Pierce, so that goes to say that tells you how much I love JT going forward. Appreciate you, Fane, for your super chat. Appreciate you, Cuberham, for your $20 or your $10 hauler. Now we got John with a $5. Smitty, I have CMC, Herbert, J-Rob, Swift, JJ, Chase, Ertz, Jeff Wilson, and Kyler Murray. How can I get better? Well, I think Swift and Chase and yeah, man. You gotta JJ, Chase, and Swift are pretty good though. You might be able to if Swift comes back, you might be able to get it done. But if you've got to make a move, you're trading Jamar Chase. Don't trade JJ because he's already at his bye week. But I would trade Chase and I would trade him for the combinations of players we're talking about right here, where you're going and getting. You already have Swift, so you can't do that. You're going and getting trade Jamar Chase for St. Brown and a running back like God. I don't know what running back would make sense. Do you think you could trade Chase for Walker and somebody? If you think you could do that, because not everybody loves Walker as a top 5 running back yet. There's several comments in the YouTube channel by a lot of loyal supporters, too, that are like, Smitty, pump the brakes on Walker being top 5, okay? He had a good game. It was defense, was a big reason. Smitty, come on, let it go. He's not top 5. I think maybe we don't realize that we're higher on Walker still than everybody else on the planet. So maybe you can trade a Jamar Chase for a Walker and a Pittman, or a Walker and a potential St. Brown, and maybe you give up Wilson, Jeff Wilson or something like that, or you give up Ertz and you have another tight end you can look at. So I would go that direction, John, with that potential team and trade idea. Ethan with the super chat: should I trade away Justin Herbert and Derrick Henry to get Mahomes, B-Rob, and Pittman? I'd probably say no. I think Herbert. Well, let's ask the chat. Chat, what do you think on that? Would you rather have Mahomes, B-Rob, and Pittman, or Derrick Henry and Justin Herbert? I'm pretty sure everyone's going to say. I don't know what everybody's going to say. I suppose I would rather have. Mahomes he's scoring so well. He's the number 1 overall scorer in fantasy football. Joe Burrow's number 3, by the way. Joe Burrow's number 3. It's phenomenal how good Joe Burrow's doing. But let's see what you guys think. Chat, what do you think here? What are you rolling with? What are you rolling with? Let's see. Let me refresh because I think I'm a little bit behind on the chat. This is not live ETN season. What do you mean this is not live? This is not live, Joseph says. What are you talking about, Joseph? You're not live, Joseph. I'm live. You're a simulation. You're a simulation. Let's go. Let me refresh my chat because I feel like I'm so far behind that it's like taking forever to get. Mahomes all day. J-Rob to the Mahomes all day. J-Rob to the Jets. Did that just happen? Let me look it up because I've been live. I haven't had my. Wow, J-Rob to the Jets. I missed that 14 minutes ago as I'm ranting and raving. My bad. Okay. What do we think about that? I'm catching up to the chat's reaction to J-Rob to the Jets. I mean, that's first of all, that's amazing for ETN. Like, let's just standing ovation.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. We did it, Mom! Mom! Mom? Mom! We did it! J-Rob to the Jets, Mom! Yeah, Mom! Get the meatloaf ready! Papa's coming home! J-Rob to the Jets, Mama! ETN, baby! ETN season, Mama! I'll see you later! Okay. Unattainable now, ETN season. Out the window. I finally noticed. I know. I get locked into these super chats, and it's a little bit hard to... Oh, boy. So... Woo! Woo! ETN!
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
As for J-Rob, I don't know. Good thing for those that have J-Rob, because now you can trade them and get a whole bunch. I'm not expecting much.
Motion detected at the backyard.
Motion at the backyard. Ziggy, show me the backyard.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Ziggy, show me the front yard.
Did you mean front door?
Yes.
Okay.
Ziggy off. He's worthless. I could have an intruder coming in here right now, and Ziggy wouldn't even allow me to know. Smitty's always live, yeah. J-Rob, Jets, what do you think? I mean, J-Rob, I don't... I'm selling him. Man, that's... Yeah, I had to reboot there. Let me call Mom back. Mom! Actually, I wonder if... Let's really call Mom. Let's really call her. She's not answering. Let's call my buddy. Let's call my buddy Yarks. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show, buddy. And I just had to talk to somebody because Mom wasn't answering. But we're getting the meatloaf ready. ETN season. J-Rob traded to the Jets, baby. What do you think about that, Yarks?
Well, I'm thrilled because I have J-Rob on the fantasy team.
Oh, you got J-Rob. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm stoked. Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of love in that Jets offense. That's 5-2 right now. So who figured the Jets to be looking this good right now?
Yeah. How did you think my boy Breece Hall was doing? He looked phenomenal, bro. I'm so depressed about it. It's
It's another one of those things where you made a great call, but sometimes there's the unforeseen stuff, and we'll see how he rebounds when he comes back.
Yeah. Good luck with your J-Rob shares. You know what I think about J-Rob?
Well, I know you're big on ETN, so I don't think you were giving J-Rob a lot of love. I remember when he first hit the scene, you were kind of big on him.
Yeah, I didn't mind him. Yeah, I didn't mind him back in the day, but Achilles injuries, that's like, you tear an Achilles, that's the jailhouse injury. They slice that bad boy so you limp the rest of your life.
He's been solid, though. He was solid for me again last year, and he gets no love by nobody, but he still produces.
Is solid 3.8 yards per carry, is that solid to you?
Well, I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't know when
Yeah,
this season?
It's somewhere around that range. Like he was getting touchdowns at the beginning, but it's ETN season. Yeah. It's ETN season. ETN to the moon. Yeah. All right. Hey, real quickly, this guy's a diehard Cardinal fan. What is Kyler going to turn it around fantasy wise, or is this offense putrid to the point where? Yeah,
I'm not the guy who's going to give you the good news or what you want to hear on Kyler. I'm down on Kyler, man. It's I think Kyler, he's gotten to the point where he's turned into a bit of a businessman, and he's not playing football like a high school or college football player where you just play because you love the game. Now it's also his job, and he's trying to protect himself and make sure he's got another contract to sign. And I feel like he's showed a little regression, this year from where he was. I praised him at the beginning of last year, being able to go through some reads, but it seems like he can turn it on and turn it off when he wants to. But out of your leader, you need somebody who's always on, not flipping it on and off like a light switch. So,
Hopkins is back. Hopkins is back, though. Hopkins looked great his first game back. I'm really excited about Hopkins.
He did, and I think Hopkins will definitely help him. He's definitely a security blanket. But the one other thing you saw out of Kyler, Hopkins didn't make Kyler run 9-10 times during that game. So the biggest difference is when Kyler uses his legs, and he doesn't want to do that because I think he equates that with longevity. And they're sure I can understand that, but you just gotta be smart about it. Kind of like Lamar Jackson, pick your times where you run the ball, not duck, slide, get out of bounds. When you have to, still take care of yourself. You don't have to, slam yourself around. I know he's a smaller guy, but he's still got to be able to use his legs. His legs are a weapon, and that's what makes him elite. That's what makes him the $40 million quarterback. Is when he runs and throws the ball. If he just wants to be a passer, he's a middle of the pack quarterback at best.
What do you make of the running game going forward for fantasy purposes? You got ETN looking straight amazing. You got Connor on the mend. Like, what happens when that situation? Like, what's going to happen in the next couple weeks? Do you think, as far as who's going to be the number one? Are they going to split time, kind of like the backs did last year? Are they going to want to have both of them equal?
Well, you said ETN. You mean Eno?
Or did I say ETN? Eno.
Yeah,
I think I said Eno. I thought I said Eno.
Eno, but you know who else? The rookie out of USC last week had a couple touches. It looked great.
Ingram.
On a couple runs.
True.
And also Darrell Williams. So there's plenty of backs. I would say right now, Cardinals running back situation probably wouldn't be the best fantasy situation because I think it's just RBBC, for a little while. They're obviously paying Connor the money. Connor's going to be best suited around the goal line and maybe a third down back. But Eno's looking great.
He looks good.
Yeah, it just looks like he's just running with passion and running with, authority. But yeah, so I don't know. Any of those guys, like if you give me Eno as a bell cow or James Conner as a bell cow or any of those, even Darrell Williams, I'd say I think any of those guys produce. We have better than average running backs, but you bunch them all together, and I think it's just going to cut into each of their production.
Do you think that Kingsbury's considering he does tend to want to use at least two of them, but do you think he's considering rolling with the hot hand in Eno? Because Eno looks he looks so good. Like a part of me wants to tell people, like, if you need a running back and you were hit by, bro, I can't tell you how painful it is right now. And I know you know me. I go all in on a player. I go all in. I've known this guy for near 30 years now. I go all in, and Breece Hall and Javonte were two of my biggest, investments in terms of the show and content and all that. But like the rest of our players that we're talking up left and right all offseason long are absolutely on fire. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, ETN now he's the lone starter in Jacksonville, which is, let's give a round of applause. But you've got all these guys firing on all cylinders, but I did lose two big predictions in Breece Hall and Javonte. But I'm telling you, man, I don't know if you felt this way, but Breece Hall turned into the running back one on Sunday. He did before that in my eyes, and I was cranking out videos on it. But like 4 carries, 72 yards, touchdown. He kept doing it. He looked elusive. I just hope he comes back next year and has a really good ACL recovery, and he's young enough. Like Priest Holmes had multiple ACL injuries, coming out of.
You put together. You showed me a stat. This was years back, and I thought it was pretty impressive. Where you kind of showed running backs and when they tear their ACL, and anybody who tore an ACL in college or in their first couple of years in the pros. I think there was an age, like maybe after 28 or 26.
Yeah. That
you seem to be able to rebound and be just fine and strong. But after you were a certain age, if you ever tore your ACL, it was the it was the end.
I'd imagine that data needs to update because the age of decline for running back used to be 30 and now it's 27. So it needs to probably adjust down to like 23. I would say 23 years old. If you tear your ACL before 23, I think physically your body can mend back to a point of being just as strong, I think, below 25 years old. But Breece Hall is definitely young enough to where we're not even worried about that. But man, he looks so good. But my boy Kenny Walker, also looking fantastic. That was one of the Brees Hall, Kenny Walker, Javonte Williams, and ETN were probably, and Damian Pierce were probably the 4 biggest running back predictions I had. I lost my top 2. But Kenneth Walker looks like a Le'Veon Bell had a baby with, I don't know, who throwing out. It's like you may laugh at this, and some people in the chat might yell blasphemous. Can't believe you'd even say that. But, like, there's Marshall Falk-esque to him. There's, like, Marshall Falk ability to the vision. It's a combination of Falk versus Bell in terms of he doesn't have Falk's twitch and ability to, like, completely stop as fast and cut left or right on a dime like Falk did, but he has Falk's vision and patience and Lev Bell's vision and patience, and dude's gonna be amazing.
You know, admittedly, I don't know. I hadn't watched as much on Walker, but I know we get him here in 2 weeks when they come to Arizona, so we'll get to see him firsthand. So we'll see. We'll see how he looks against our D.
All right, Yarks. I just needed to call someone because Mom wasn't answering. All right, later, man.
All right, peace out.
Anyway. All right, where were we at? ETN season. God, I was in the middle of super chats, and I when I have these super chats, it takes up all my time here, and I'm not focused on the chat, so I apologize being delayed on this. Did we get an answer on this? Mahomes? I think the Mahomes side, Ethan, but it's close and arguable, and I appreciate your super chat. This one from Josh. Josh, appreciate your super chat. Josh says D-Hops for ETN and PPR. Not anymore. Not anymore, Josh. That ain't gonna happen no more, Josh.
You've just been Smitty.
I'm hitting that button for your opponent. Because your opponent's gonna send you this, Josh.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
But if you pull that off, Josh, we will make you the sorcerer of the day if you can get ETN for D-Hop. Not that D-Hop's bad, but like ETN to the moon now. This is unbelievable. I almost feel like we got to do a whole separate video on this ETN stuff. Like, I almost feel like I got to stop and then go live again. ETN, we don't want ETN carrying the ball 20 times a game, Gabe. We want him getting like 12 to 15. We want him getting about 15 totes of the rock. I think that would be appropriate. 15 totes of the rock would be pretty solid. You want him to get almost equal parts receiving and equal parts rushing. That's the player ETN is. He's very much an Alvin Kamara-esque type player. He's like the inverse of Deebo Samuel. He's like the wide receiver that is going to play a little more wide receiver, but do some running. You know, he's the running back that's going to play more wide receiver than you want him to, than running back. That's the design for him. You'd want that. That would keep him the most fresh. But you could use him on all kinds of like motion plays, and he's just electric. He's elusive. Clearly, the team getting rid of James Robinson, and let me even pull up the deal. I didn't even get to read the entire deal yet because I got so excited and got up and just started trading, acquiring James Robinson. What is the trade? What is the trade compensation? Draft pick compensation. I don't even know if they've updated the draft pick compensation. Let me just see if I can find. If anybody has that, it looks like a 6-rounder, conditional 6-round pick that can become a 5th rounder. So that tells you how invested this Jaguars team is in Mr. Travis ETN.
Mashed potatoes!
And let's take a look.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters, indeed. Look how excited he is. Look how excited he is. Hey, Mom, look. I'm the lone starting running back for the Jaguars, Mom. Go forward. Absolutely phenomenal. So excited. Unbelievable. Like, we lose Javonte. It's okay. It's okay. We got Brees Hall. We got Kenneth Walker. We lose Brees Hall. It's okay. We've got ETN. We still got Kenneth Walker. Send James Robb over to the New York Football Jets. He's no threat to ETN or to Brees Hall's long-term value. So if you think that's even a concern, get out of here with that. He's nothing. ETN is absolutely going to the moon.
To the moon.
There's just no I mean,
Got him.
okay, let's finish these super chats real quick. Stevenson for Kamara. Judy and Stevenson for Kamara. What do I look like? What do I look like? What kind of guy that's going to take Judy and... I mean, I like Stevenson a lot, but you got to take Kamara, if not just to flip him. The value is insanely, greater. I like Stevenson. We'll see what he does, but you got to make that trade. PPR, 2 QBs, lost Hall. My starting team is Dak, Tannehill, Jimmy G, Stevenson, B, Rob, Chase, Godwin, Scary Terry, Thielen, Goddard, Hines. Do I make it? Do I try and trade Chase for 2 pieces? You probably have to, bro. Your team doesn't have enough oomph to get over that hump. There's no way. You gotta. No, I'm just being honest with you, Michael, and appreciate the holler.
To the moon.
$10 holler, my guy. Get a moonshot. You ask me for my honesty, right? It's gonna be, you have to nail this trade. And ETN's gone now. That would have been another, had James Robinson not been traded. And it's not that big of a move. Like, it is and it isn't. Like, it's a big move in that it's a sign they're fully committed. But ETN was taking over anyway. But now the world's going to react to it. So ETN's untouchable. He's a top 10 overall player going forward. Like, you will have people overvaluing ETN going forward. He's a top 10 player going forward. So, that's gone. That's gone. Walker over ETN still, but both are going to the moon. Absolutely, Travis. Who's hating? Who's hating? Terry says, sell ETN now. He won't hold up. ETN, come on, Terry. That's not Terry Roberts, is it? That's not Terry Roberts. No, Terry Roberts wouldn't say that. I have Saquon, Walker, Swift, ETN, and Carter. Attaboy. Attabroski. James Robinson just got traded to the Jets. Thanks, millionaire. Appreciate that. I shouldn't laugh because I was a little slow moving to read the chat because I'm embedded in these super chats. Okay, so let's go. Where's Chase on the Moon Men? Well, Chase is on the Mars Men list. He's also on the
stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the... He's on a shuttle
and we have
to Mars.
We have him on this list right
Mars
here as well.
Men.
We ended up swapping out. This one we didn't keep historically correct in the way it was.
Dropping
We
and
decided
spinning
to
aimlessly in space.
we decided to update this one, but unfortunately Brees Hall is going to have to come off this one. We do update this one. So we're going to put Brees Hall right here, unfortunately. And we got to send someone else to Mars. Someone needs to take over this spot. But we got Walker. We're still going to hold Swift on there. Jamar Chase and Burrow are on there. Josh Allen's on there. We're going to put someone else on this list. The Mars men need to stay updated and current. The Moon men.
The Moon Men.
This is to be
loads in outer space.
This is to be historically correct. That's why we still have Schultz and Lance and Hall and Javonte on there. It's bloodied up, but it's still a fantastic Moon Men list. I mean, we really are having a good season overall. It's just been a dark cloud of 2 big injuries, 2 of our bigger predictions, to go down. PPR 2 QB lost Hall. My team is Dak Hill. Okay, so yeah, Chase, you need to hit a home run. You need to get like Swift and St. Brown for Jamar Chase. You need to hit a home run. Don't be trading Chase unless you land 2 monster players. If you do that, I think you're in the mix, but it's still going to be, you're still going to need Scary Terry, Godwin, and B-Rob to all step up, or Stevenson. You're going to need like 3 of those guys to absolutely play out of their minds to win it. It's possible, but you do need to divide Chase up. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. You got to. And stay on top of the quarterbacks. Look for Malik Willis on waivers just to cuff to Tannehill, because if he gets in there, he could be a cheat code for you potentially at the quarterback spot. TP with a super chat. TP said, Herb, ETN.
To the moon.
Every time we see ETN, he's going to the moon. Dylan, JJ, CD, Keenan Allen, Waller, McKenzie, Lost, Brees Hall, and Javonte. Thought I could trade JJ for Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Kamara. Is that enough? It probably is. I think maybe you do need to make that move. I love the fact that you have ETN. I love that you have JJ. Trade JJ for Amon-Ra and Kamara. I worry about Kamara, but it's a good enough move, I think, to make. And Amon-Ra's got his bye week out of the way. You probably do need to make this move. I don't know that CD and JJ and ETN alone can win this. I'd rather you trade CeeDee Lamb somehow, but does anybody disagree with his team? Does anybody feel like he should probably take this trade? I'm on Ross St. Brown and Kamara for JJ, given his circumstance and his team. I don't think JJ, CD, and ETN's winning it. It's good, though. It's good. You're almost there. ETN's going to bring you back to life. ETN is on a rocket to Mars right now. Maybe we put ETN on that list. Let's do that right now. Okay, so we got the Moon Man list. Okay, ETN's on that. This is historically correct.
Man, dropping loads in outer space.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
So yeah, this one we do alter and change. So we're gonna put ETN on this list right here. ETN baby, ETN. Sorry, Brees Hall. Oh my God, this pains me. This one we're not keeping historically correct. This is the current, the now, the Mars men. It's who's going to Mars right now. And one more time. No, I'm not going to hit it. I'm not going to hit it until next year. I was going to hit the get Brees, but we're not hitting that until he comes back, until he's looking great, until he's back to form. We're not hitting the get Brees until we see him looking fantastic and we're getting excited. We're going to save that one. We're going to build that up all off season long. We're not touching the get Brees until it's ready. Did I pass? I haven't passed your super chat most likely. I'm still going through it. But what is everybody saying on this trade? Anybody feel like they would rather have the Kamara side? ETN to Mars. Swift doesn't belong. Well, we'll see about that. I still want to keep Swift on it because he's got a lot of upside. Let's see here. I have 4 Mars men. Thanks, Smitty. You bet. What did everybody say on this deal for TP? I think you probably do it TP, but you're not crazy to not do it. I love JJ that much, but I do think he needs something. You breaking the bank for Ellinger and Dynasty? No. I mean, if it's super flex, maybe you're breaking the fab bank, I guess. If you need a quarterback too, on top of that. Think Justin Herbert will look like his old self. I'm hoping so, Terry. I think he needs this bye week, and then we'll see what happens after the bye. Appreciate your super chat. Offered Aaron Jones and Boyd for Gus. Take it. I'd take Aaron Jones in a heartbeat over Gus the Bus. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Smitty forgot super chats for a second and watch Twitter. Forget super chats for a second and watch Twitter. Thank you. J-Rob just got traded. Thank you. I'm getting to all these late super chats. I can't imagine how many people are going to be super chatting to let me know about J-Rob. Been getting offers post Brees for JJ. Some offers Saquon and Waddle, Swift, and Olave. I like the Saquon and Waddle for JJ. I'd probably take that one. JT, Eno, Khalil, Pacheco are your running backs. Amon-Ra, DJ, JJ. Yeah, if I'm you, I'm probably making one move. You got Andrews, you got Amon-Ra, you got JJ, you got JT. You probably could survive. But Waddle and Saquon's a lot for JJ. I think I take that one, and I think I run. That's a pretty good deal, my guy. That's going to put you in a good position, to where, like, even if JJ goes nuts, you're not going to feel bad because you're getting a lot of value. James Robinson traded. Thank you, Overcome. Appreciate you. James Robinson traded to the Jets. Thank you. Russian collusion. Any truth to James Robinson going to the Jets? Look at all these super chats coming in. James Robinson to the Jets ETN season. Oh, bro. Life as we know it. You missed a couple people in my starting lineup. Did I? I don't even remember the question. Let's go back. Diggs. So Mahomes, Carr, Diggs, AJ Brown, Gabe Davis, Mixon, Taylor, ETN. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Phenomenal squad. I'm sorry if I missed somebody like AJ Brown or something, but you don't need to do anything. You really, really don't. Again, Mixon I would upgrade, but JT and ETN are your running backs. You've got 2 top 10 running backs, one of which will probably be top 5. And maybe you've got 2 top 7 running backs in JT and ETN. So you're looking fantastic, my guy. I'm not even worried. I'm probably I maybe even explore trading for a wide receiver. Just so you can start Amon Ra. He's your flex though. Diggs, you can't. What can you even do? Upgrade Mixon, upgrade your running back spot. If you can even start all three of these running backs, I believe you can because you're listing your flex Amon Ra and not ETN. So ETN's a starter for you. Mixon, Taylor, ETN, upgrade Mixon. That's it. And I appreciate your super chat. Your team's phenomenal. Coming in here and flexing your team. That can't. I forget if you said if it was what size league that was, but that team's phenomenal. What are we doing on this game here? We got to get the game pulled up. Am I live? I think I'm caught up. I'm live on the game. Here we go. Okay, let's roll. Thank you, Life. Appreciate you. Can't be recorded. The super chats are live. Do people think I'm really not live? Someone super chat this man. This is about the James Robinson stuff. First trade question. This goes with the first trade question. Kyler, Saquon, Walker the third, Hopkins, Olave, Kelsey, Mike Williams. Mike Will, not K Will. Mike Will, Stevenson, Bench, Hunt, Judy, Dillon. This team's pretty good. I mean, Kenneth Walker, the third, Saquon, Hopkins, Olave, Kelsey, Stevenson. The only thing I'm looking to do with this team is potentially move. I like Olave. I love Kelsey. Hopkins is good. Mike Williams and Stevenson for one player. You know, B-Rob and Mike Williams for one player. Go get St. Brown. Go get Swift. Go get any player that resembles that type of value. And you are on your way, young man. That's all you got to do. Don't even worry about the rest of it. It's a phenomenal team. Thank you, Bobby, for the super chat. James Robinson traded to the Jets. Thank you, Fog. I'm sorry I was behind on that. It's so... You guys don't even understand the amount of focus it takes to like do all this with the super chats. It's crazy. I have Barkley, Pierce, Walker now, ETN. Let's go.
To the moon.
Dude's on fire. Your team's fire, bro. Obviously it's live. He's doing super chats. Says Angel. Why does anybody think I'm not live? Just because I didn't hit the James Robinson thing right away. I'm not on Twitter right now. I'm orchestrating a show. When have I ever not gone live? Trade AJ Brown and Gabe Davis for Walker and Juju. Yeah, I'd take Walker and Juju, Mark Cleveland, and I'd do that. I would do that trade. I love Walker that much. I mean, AJ Brown and Gabe Davis are good pieces. I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's an absolute like totally blast them type of trade or got him. But I mean, give me Walker, and if Juju continues to do well, then you have a better side of that. I have Barkley, Swift, Walker, J-Rob. I need wide receivers bad. Well, now you've got a good trade option in Adam and J-Rob because he's just been traded. So now he's with the Jets. Somebody's going to want to overpay for him. I don't want him. I'm not concerned about J-Rob. Trade him. Trade the man. My Zeke plus CEH for Dalvin Cook. Clayton, I would smash that.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Got him.
I mean, that's an easy one, Clayton. That's an absolute lambasting. And I don't even love Dalvin Cook. I'm selling him. I'm going to try and flip him like a house, bro. But that's an easy call. Would you trade J-Rob now that he's on the Jets? Absolutely. Send him packing as fast as you can. Go get a Pittman. Who are my favorite targets? Pittman. I'm going to do a video probably right after this. I might end it and go live so there's a separate video. As soon as I'm done with the super chats, I think we'll end it. I'll go immediately live. I'll need everybody back here, all 350 of you back here, because we need a separate video for this ETN being traded to the... I'm sorry, ETN. J-Rob being traded to the New York Football Jets, which impacts Breece Hall nothing. Not at all. And ETN, it impacts to the moon. To the moon.
To the moon.
So excited. Lost Hall, traded AJB for Swift and Olave. That's an absolute.
You've just been Smitty approved.
It's fantastic. Bro, you could argue Olave could hang with AJ Brown. And you're getting Swift. You could argue Swift is better or could hang with AJ Brown. You're getting two players that could potentially. That's how you get out of a Brees Hall situation. You make a trade like this. You trade AJ Brown for Swift and Olave. You walk away a winner. You walk away a winner. You walk away a on the run.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo. Popo has been dispatched. King 25 out.
Phenomenal job. Ben. Lost Mike Williams and Brees. Still have ETN.
To the moon.
Still have ETN. Ramondre, JJ, Cousins, Pitts, Melvin, Gordon starters, JJ. Trade JJ for Higgins, Cook, and Claypool. Would anybody rather have JJ or Higgins, Cook, and Claypool? Who cares about Claypool? Higgins and Cook or JJ? I'm keeping JJ. I think trading JJ is not a bad idea. Trading JJ is not a bad idea, but this is not the trade, I don't think. Tua, Swift, and Hopkins for Hurts and JT. Give me Hurts and JT all day long. Yeah, JJ all day, says Travis. JJ. Bro, everyone's going to say JJ. It's not that trading JJ in your situation isn't a bad idea. This is just not the move. You need more. G Money dropping a $20 hauler. G Money.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. It's my dude. It's my dude right there. He says, I'm in a standard 12-team league. My current team is 4-3 and in 7th place, QB Burrow, Brees, ETN.
To the moon.
Let's go. ETN, wide receivers, Chase, Pittman. Look, I mean, you got a good squad. If Pollard steps up, you could trade Scary Terry potentially right now too. If Pollard steps up, you're gonna be in a good position. But like this is a small lineup. Burrow, Brees. Unfortunately, you gotta put ETN in that spot. Chase, Pittman. As far as trades go, you may be okay. I mean, it's such a small lineup. I may put Pollard in there and just hope that I would give it a week, man. Either that or you trade Chase for two players, but it's got to be like Swift, St. Brown. It's got to be something so severely hard to turn down that I just don't do it. I feel like your team's absolute fire. If you had kept Brees, or if Brees had stayed healthy, you'd be untouchable, bro. They don't even know what was about to hit him. G Money. I feel so bad. I wear all this weight on my shoulders, man. I know it's not my fault, but it's like, you don't know how bad it kills me to see you guys build the best teams. Even with Javonte going down for so many of you. So many of you have lost Javonte on my watch, and your teams look like straight fire because we drafted Hall and Walker and ETN and Pierce, and we look like straight fire. We've got the Burrow and Chase pancake stack.
The stack above all stacks.
It pains me to see a person like G Money, who I admire, and he's my boy, have this team where he's got Brees Hall, ETN. Like the news just gets better on one front and worse on the other. This team was straight fire. You were blitzing everybody, G Money. It pains me to see. But I think I let it ride and hope that Pollard steps up too. And keep in mind, where's Pollard?
The moon men dropping loads and out.
So, I mean, Pollard is there for a reason. Unless you can trade Scary Terry and Pollard for like a Mixon. I don't know. Mixon. I don't know. Javonte didn't do much. He's about to do a lot, bro. He's about to do exactly what Hall was doing and what Walker's doing and what ETN's doing and about to do even more. ETN's going to explode. Jimmy G, Rodgers, or Lawrence rest of season. Aaron Rodgers or Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence too, but I guess I'll go Trevor Lawrence maybe. Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he's ETN Ascension.
To the moon.
Super chat by Avatar. Can we drop some Avatar emojis, please? Thank you. Thank you, Avatar, for being here. Can we drop some Michael K? Do we have Michael K CPA emojis? Yes, we do. Let's drop some Michael K CPA, Ron Navy emojis, Michael K CPA emojis, and Avatar emojis, please. Soon G Money's going to have an emoji. I think I need to make G Money an emoji. Smitty, J Rob traded to the Jets. Thank you, big dog. I know I was delayed on reading all that. Because I super chatted this same day. It says, I think Pyram thinks I'm not live. Pyram, tell me to hold up a sign. Pyram, I want you to tell me to hold up a sign. I'm going to write what you tell me to write. Where's Pyram right now? Let's prove this is live. For some reason, he thinks this isn't live. I'm going to erase my Kyler Murray drawing that I drew. Okay? I'm going to erase my Kyler Murray drawing. And I'm going to write whatever you tell me to write right now to prove that this is live on the air. Because I don't understand why Pyram's saying this. Pyram, go ahead. Okay, what are you saying? Right now it's LMAO. That's what Pyram's saying. LMAO. Does this prove that I'm live? I've never had to prove that I'm live before. I'm guilty of that 30 minutes ago. Okay. I got another thing that I'm going to write here for you. How about this? How about this? How about that?
To the moon.
That.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Bears on the goal line. Roughly. Fields sneaking it. Fields into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. 10-0. Soon to be 10-0. I don't blame you for thinking I wasn't live. He's 45 behind on Super Chat, says Shades. This was like 40 minutes ago. We love Smitty. Can you wish my dad a happy birthday? What's your dad's name, Hero? What's your dad's name? I'll write it on the board, and you can send it to him, okay? You can send him the clip. I'll tell you where the timestamp's going to be. Someone needs to Super Chat ETN News. You guys are hilarious, man. ETN prepping for liftoff to Mars.
To the moon.
What's your dad's name? Bro, my Super Chat was the same as the order. Appreciate you, Paran. I'm not mad at you. I'm just joking with you. You're my guy. You're my dude. What is this guy? What's your dad's name? Do we call him Papa Hero? His dad's name is Smitty. Barry. Happy B-Day Barry. Hold on. Does he watch football? All right, here's Barry's dad. Barry, happy birthday, Barry.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. All right. This is going to turn into the birthday wish show. Schmitty, my grandmother turned 87 today. Can you please wish my grandma a happy birthday? That was at 1 hour and 33 minutes into the show. All right. Thank you for your super chats. We got the dad. We got dad off to Mars. We'll send your dad to the moon.
To the moon.
Barry, please report to the moon. Barry, please report to the moon. Your shuttle's waiting for you, Barry. Killa says, should I bench Henry and start ETN rest of season? No, you got Skywalker as well. You make a trade. You don't bench Derrick Henry. You make a trade. But I do trade Derrick Henry. And you know, if you can only start 2 running backs, that is a dilemma. But you got to make a trade, broski. You can't be benching Derrick Henry. I've seen a few people already super chat trade. Has to be pre-recorded, or he's skipping until until Shefty or someone tells him. No, I know. I wish you guys. I wish you guys understood. You don't. You wouldn't understand it. It's not your fault. How far behind I get on these. And if I swear, if I put games and bros, if I put you in my chair for 15 minutes, you would have an anxiety attack. You have no clue the moving parts, the amount of messages, the super chats, the order, the new, you know, the different things that go on. It's not your fault. I'm not mad, but you would be shocked at how much a bogged down amount of super chats, which I'm blessed to get. I'm not complaining whatsoever. How it puts you in a frame to where you can't actually look over and it has to be. No. I've seen few people already super chat the trade. This has to be pre-recorded or he's skipping. I love it. Look at the super chats. Oh, I just got JJ Monty Taysom for Chase. JJ Monty Taysom for Chase. Yeah, I mean, I like Chase as much almost, but you get the bye week out of the way. I don't mind that. But that's good. Would you take Chuba, Higgins, J-Rob for C-Mac and Dak? I would take CMC, bro. That's easy. That's easy. Come on now. Racing Boy trying to trade Herbert. Now, I know this show is behind. It's a day pre-recorded. I have a prediction to make, okay? I think J-Rob gets traded by tomorrow. I'm just saying, like, I know this is pre-recorded. This is from the past. I'm predicting the future. I really believe that we're looking at a potential trade in the future. ETN is going to be starting by himself heading into week number. Calm down. I know it's a prediction. It's a bold prediction, people. James Robinson will be traded by the beginning of the football game here on Monday night. Prediction. Lock it in. This is pre-recorded. Trying to trade Herbert, Kamara. Trying to trade Herbert. When am I not live? I go live all the time. You think I can pre-record something? You think I have the time to pre-record a live stream? You guys give me too much credit. I barely sleep, bro. I have it in I'm from the future. ETN will be starting by himself at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end in his next contest. We're trading James Robinson. Oh, look at that scramble. Mac Jones scrambling. These are the problem. These right here, these cone apparatuses, the cone caps that we had these players wear, is why we're suffering all these concussions. No one was touched in the offseason. Where were we at? Trying to trade Herbert, Kamara, and Andrews for Burrow, ETN, and Tunyon. The other thing that's funny is if someone thinks this is pre-recorded, like I'm answering live super chats. Like, how can it be pre-recorded? Trying to trade Herbert, like trying to trade Herbert, Kamara, if I could get to this question, and Andrews for Burrow, ETN, and Tunyon. Good luck getting ETN. Good luck. I think okay, so Burrow over Herbert, advantage on that side. ETN for Kamara, give me ETN. Andrews, Tunyon, give me Andrews. So Andrews' side is pretty good. That's not a bad side. Honestly, I feel like this could be absolutely even Steven because of the Andrews side of it. I come from the future, Mrs. Smitty, CD, Stevenson for JJ. CD and Stevenson, I take JT. I mean, is that JT or Siggy off? Here, you know what? Let's put this to bed. Ziggy, what is today's date? You're making me look bad, Ziggy. Ziggy, prove that today is real. This is not pre-recorded. Ziggy, what is today's date?
It's Monday, October 24th. Either way, you can also ask me, what happened today in history?
No. Ziggy, what time? Ziggy, what? Ziggy, what time is it?
It's 5:50 p.m.
No, that's not going to help me because I'm Arizona time. You're going to be like, I told you.
It is the sixth largest and the 14th most populous.
Ziggy, off. I told you he recorded this earlier in the day. It's 5:51 p.m. Arizona time, which is 8:51 p.m. Eastern time. Ziggy, who's the starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
This might answer your question. The starting running back of the Jacksonville Jaguars is Travis Etienne Jr.
That's right! That's right!
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Ziggy, who's the starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
This might answer your question. The starting running back of the Jacksonville Jaguars is Travis Etienne Jr.
That's what I'm talking about, Ziggy. Atta boy, Zigmeister.
I've put Boy Zig on your shopping list.
Boy Zig, what is that? No. Put Boy Zig. What's Boy Zig? Ziggy, what's Boy Zig?
Here you go.
I don't know. Might be a movie.
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. It's impossible for me to call me against you, but you can find them on YouTube.
Ziggy off. Ziggy, take that off my shopping list.
What should I remove?
Boy Zig.
What should I remove?
Boy Zig.
I couldn't find Boy Zed on your shopping list.
Oh my god. Then why'd you tell me it was on my shopping list? Hey. Anybody else have a question for Ziggy? He really is worthless. He's probably the most worthless assistant I've ever had. Smitty, you can't fix everything on your life. Go get Andrews. Ziggy answers to no one. Which is true. Ziggy off. Ziggy, who's the number one quarterback in the NFL?
Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the NFL this year. In 7 games, he has thrown for 1,397 yards and 13 passing touchdowns.
The answer is
and has rushed for
Mahomes,
510
Ziggy.
yards and 2 rushing
Ziggy off.
touchdowns.
Ziggy, who is Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth, Ken or Kenny Walker may refer to.
He's worthless, bro. Ziggy off. Okay. Trying to trade her. God, I've been on this question forever. No, I think I answered this question. Does anybody in the chat want to answer this question right here? Please. Would you rather have Herbert, Kamara, and Andrews, or Burrow, Etienne, and Tunyon? Part of me thinks the Kamara Andrews side is a little bit more powerful. Like, you can't get. I mean, I love Etienne, and I want to say Etienne, but I kind of feel like, I don't know, the Burrow Etienne. Give me the Burrow Etienne side. I'm taking the upside, but like, God, that's very, very close. I'd love to get an answer on that one. I mean, Andrews is a big piece there, and I think people are ignoring that. I've seen a few people already super chat. Look at the super chats. Just traded JJ Monty Taysom for Chase. JJ Monty already got to that one. Racing Boy, appreciate you. Racing Boy is trying to trade Herbert. I got that one. Herbert, Aaron Jones, Pierce, D-Hop, Ayuk, Kelsey, ETN enough? Is this enough to win? Aaron Jones, Pierce, D-Hop, Ayuk, Kelsey, ETN. It could be. I think you want to roll that out there, bro. Roll that out there, see how it goes. Andrews for sure. Kamara side, Burrow side. Everybody's kind of torn on that one, but I think it's leaning a little bit toward the Andrews side on that trade earlier. But it's tough, man. I mean, I love ETN, but you got to make sure you don't overvalue the situation. Jared says, trade Fournette for ETN and Kirk 2 weeks ago. Attaboy. Traded Fournette for ETN and Kirk 2 weeks ago. Attaboy, broski. Nice job. Nice job, Jared. Ted Short. Dak, Walker, Mixon, Waddle, Olave, Kelsey, Zeke, Bench, Pickens, Dylan, Gino. 4 and 3. Move or hold. So you got Kenneth Walker, Dak, Mixon, Waddle, Olave, Kelsey. It's pretty good. I mean, do I try and trade like a Pickens and Zeke for like just a Pittman or something like that? Yeah. Do I try and get a St. Brown using, or maybe you could get, God, you could maybe got ETN for Mixon before today. J-Rob going to be an immediate starter? I don't think so, bro. He's not unseating Michael Carter, who knows the offense, but will he be used a little bit? Sure. Mr. TD says CMC to the Niners. we're not that delayed, bro. Pittman would be a good acquisition using that smaller package, but I don't know that I'm trying to upgrade Mixon maybe. Maybe you could throw in a potential Pickens or Zeke to upgrade Mixon slightly, like to Swift. That would be something I'd be very, very interested in. Or go after JT in a little bit more of a complicated package, but JT is somebody that I really, really want in a situation like yours. Swift for ETN now. I'd rather have ETN.
To the moon.
I like Swift a lot, and I still think he could do really, really well. But, ETN's top 10 running back. Swift isn't there yet. We hope he can be, but he's also very injury-prone. Swift is more valuable than ETN. Mahomes and Deonta Foreman for ETN. You can't trade Mahomes, bro. You've got to get more. You can't trade Mahomes like that. Not like that, bro. That's you trying to chase the value. Like you're getting in the game a little late, bro. You're stuck. You can't go get ETN. Like, unfortunately, you waited too long. I think if you start doing that, MJ, you're gonna end up destroying your team. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you regret not getting in, but you can't get in now. You're buying at an all-time high. Trade Mahomes, and who's your quarterback? If you had like a Hurts on your bench or something, then now we're talking. But I imagine you're starting some sub top 10 quarterback at that point. And Mahomes is the number one fantasy football scorer in 2022 so far through 7 games. You can't trade him like that. I love ETN, but you can't do that. Smitty Dillon is running back 1, says R. Smith. Emerald says Carr. Was Carr's other quarterback? You can't do that. You can't trade Mahomes that cheap. Thoughts on one or multiple of these guys in a trade for either Amon-Ra or Keenan Allen? I'm not really in the business of trading for Keenan Allen. I guess I'd take him over Deontay, yeah. But would I take Amon-Ra for Connor and Deontay in a heartbeat? Would I trade Gabe Davis and Deontay or Gabe Davis and Connor for Amon-Ra? Probably, but at the same time, Gabe's quietly as good. He is quietly as good. So it's not like a home run. That other one would be a home run. Keeping Gabe Davis, I'd trade Deontay, Connor, and somebody else on your bench for Amon-Ra in a heartbeat. Or trade one of those guys, not Gabe Davis, for Henry, Deontay. Appreciate the double $4.99 super chat. Combined gets you a $10 moonshot, baby.
To the moon.
So appreciate you, Henry. Henry says Deontay Johnson or Pickens rest of season. Give me Pickens. And I said that at the beginning of the year after, like, it was a week 1 or 2 or whatever, and everybody flipped out. Deontay's no special thing. He's not the future there. Pickens is the future there. Also, and I was called crazy for that. Oh, you're insane. Deontay's a machine. Like, yeah, he is, but not the machine you're thinking of. Also, thoughts on selling Mahomes for something in 4 weeks and starting Deshaun Watson once suspension is over. I suppose it depends on your situation and if you need that. Or you could sell Watson and just keep Mahomes and keep dominating with Mahomes. You keep wanting to get rid of Mahomes, Henry. We gotta make sure you don't just give this guy away. He's an absolute monster. He's carrying you right now. Would you move Lamar and J-Rob for Burrow and Ayuk? No, I think Burrow and Lamar are very close, and you got to pick whichever one you want because it's preference. But I don't think Ayuk and J-Rob are moving the needle at all, bro. So this is preference for you. Would I rather have Burrow? Probably. I love Burrow. Did my super chats pass? I don't know. Let's see if we we'll look for him. This is from Killa. I think I answered Killis. Yeah. Should I start? Yeah, bench Henry. That was the Henry one. So I got you. We're almost down through the super chats. They're definitely take a while to get through. So just bear with me. Bear with me. Work for what you want. Before the week, traded CD for Waddle and ETN.
To the moon.
Got him.
King 25 code 428. Dispatch Vito Popo.
They're coming for you, pal. Was a little skeptical letting CD go, but wow, wasn't expecting him to skyrocket so fast. He's on a moon, bro. He's on the Mars Men list. He's on the Mars Men shuttle right now as we speak. I've already talked to him. In fact, let's call him up right now. ETN, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. You ready to start, baby? I'm ready. Can you give me at least 14 to 16 carries a game? I'm ready for it. No problem, buddy. 15 carries coming up. We don't want to give him 20, though. Okay? Because we don't want him getting hurt. 14 to 15 carries. How about 6 to 7 receptions? Does that sound pretty good? Dial it up. All right, buddy. We'll see you later. Let's fire him up. Mars Men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Men. Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
This feels like a Thursday night game we're watching right now. Standard League, should I trade away Justin Herbert plus Henry to get Mahomes, B-Rob, and Pittman? I think I saw this one. Oh, was this an earlier question? Yeah, this one's an earlier question. I think. Jimmy with a super chat didn't have anything attached. Oh, it's down below. Okay, Jimmy did put it on here. Let me go ahead and put these two on screen here. Jimmy, appreciate you. Jimmy says, should I trade Juju for James Robinson? I only have one running back. I don't think James Robinson's an answer, bro. I'd rather trade Juju for something else. You know, Pollard's better than James Robinson, in my opinion. You're the man, Smitty. Offered some Grandma Hurts and Jamal Williams for T-Law, Mixon, and Pittman. Offered some Grandma Hurts and Jamal Williams for T-Law, Mixon, and Pittman. I think I like that, but at the same time, I don't know if she declined and offered Goff, Jets defense for my Hurts and CMC. I don't Ryan. I don't know that I would say that Grandma may have turned down something. I mean, I like T-Law a lot. I like Mixon and Pittman, but Hurts is very powerful. I wouldn't say like you were working her over on that one. I would say that maybe I have to think about it long and hard, but probably would rather have Mixon and Pittman, I suppose. But Hurts is good. So if you're trading Hurts, make sure you're doing something. Like Mixon's a little questionable, and Pittman's, I love him as a buy low, but he's got some questions to him. Hurts is steady. So it's not that it's a bad trade. It's just there's some risk there for sure, even though there's some upside. So just make sure your team's built to the point where it needs the risk in order to win. Do I trade JT? Oh, and back to Ryan's question about the Jimmy's question about the James Rob. Maybe you trade Juju for, I guess, Pollard. If you need a running back, Pollard's one of those guys that has the potential. I'd rather have Pollard than J-Rob. So I don't know if you can get Pollard. I'd rather have Pollard. Do I trade JT or Pierce for ETN? I'd be getting a third and giving a 6. Do I trade JT or Pierce for ETN? I definitely don't trade JT, but I think Pierce and ETN are going to be very close moving forward. Dare I say I'd rather have ETN over Pierce? I think I would. I think I'd rather have ETN over Pierce right now. I'd be getting a third. I'd be I'd be getting a third and giving a sixth. I don't really know where that falls into the equation here. You're giving up a vet pick. I wouldn't be giving up picks involved, but Pierce and Etienne are a very even swap. So I'd make sure whatever that means with the pick swap, make sure it's an even trade because you shouldn't be giving up more. I mean, some would say Pierce is ranked higher than Etienne. I think Etienne I'd rather have. I don't know if the chat would agree, but give me Etienne over Pierce, and I love both of them. Zappy's in. Man, the Zapmeister's back in the game, broskies. Mac Jones, his reign is over. I mean, what Zappy you got to do? He goes out, throws a completion. Plain and simple. Ryan got offered Lamar, CD, Aaron Jones for my Hurts and CMC. Give me the Lamar, CD, and Aaron Jones side all day long. Because think about it. Lamar and Hurts, you could argue, is even. You could. And then CD and Aaron Jones for CMC. Give me CD and Aaron Jones. Give me the two players. So, Ryan, I like that a lot. Trone dropping a $2 hauler. Just offered Swift for ETN. Thank you. Appreciate you, Trone. I would take ETN.
To the moon.
I mean, you're not crazy to like either. Both are capable of being top 6 to 10 running backs, I think. Super flex PPR. Josh Allen, T-Law, Chase, DK, St. Brown, Moore, Andrews, Saquon, Sanders, Elliott, Chuba is still enough to win the ship. Yeah, I mean, bro, you got a good squad there. I mean, Allen and T-Law is good. That's a good quarterback crew, especially given you got Chase. DK will be back at some point. Could be 2 to 6 weeks. St. Brown and Chase, phenomenal. Andrews, Saquon, Miles Sanders. I would maybe look to trade Miles Sanders on the high. I like St. Brown and Chase. I'm not touching that. I like Saquon. I'm not touching that. But Miles Sanders and Elliott, Miles Sanders, and maybe a DK injured to get something. Man, I wish you could get ETN. Trade Miles Sanders for ETN straight up. See if that gets done. Maybe it does. I mean, you could sell the bye week factor, bro, and say, hey, Sergio. Or, I mean, you could say, hey, John, this is Sergio. I'll give you this guy sat out a bye week already. His name's Miles Sanders. He's absolutely phenomenal. Check out the stats, bro. And he does this deal. He does this deal before he's really absorbed what's going on. Sergio. Trone, I placed first in the DraftKings showdown last night. Turned $11 into $900. Attaboy, Trone. Nice work, buddy. Congrats. To the moon.
To the moon.
That's fire. My team, Zappy's looking amazing. Look, they got signs already. Although they got 2 signs, you could tell they flipped them. Zappy's looking amazing already. Wow. And this is what, like, this is why you don't hang on. This is like the Niners hanging on to Jimmy G when they don't really know what Brock Purdy could do. And Jimmy G's not it. I mean, he's not it. Is that a touchdown? Did he touch him? His knee might have been down. Well, they're going to replay that. Wow, Zappy is him. He is Zappy. Zappy is him. Lost Hall, DK hurt. My team is Burrow, Eckler, Damian Pierce, ETN, baby.
To the moon.
It's Zappy's team moving forward. He's the starter. Diggs, St. Brown, DK, London, Pickens, Eno, Muth. How to replace Hall? Well, I mean, you've got Eckler, Pierce, and ETN. You don't need to replace Hall. You got St. Brown, Diggs, DK. You don't need to replace anybody. Your team is still ultra strong, and you need to kind of like a march forward. I don't think you even need to divide and conquer. Let Pierce go out and prove himself. Let ETN go out and prove himself. Let St. Brown bounce back. Let DK get healthy. Trade DK in London or DK and Pickens or Eno Benjamin and DK if you can. If you can get someone to give you a Swift or give you a Pittman for DK, you know, something like that. Pickens and DK for Pittman. Other than that, rock out. That's a really, really good squad, and I think I let that team ride. I don't think I'm messing too much with it. JT Godwin for ETN and Diggs. Give me ETN and Diggs all day long. All day long. Twice on Sunday. Do it. Do it live. I love I love JT, but Etienne and Diggs is special. Go get it done. 12-man lost JK and Mitchell. Forgot to add that. Well, JK's not much of a loss, but I feel you. I feel the pain. JT and James Conner, Sutton for AK and Skywalker. JT, Connor, Sutton punched that. Oh my.
Got him.
Jeez, Alberto, you're not even trying to keep your friendship alive with this individual. You're flushing that thing down the drain, bro, but you're doing a good job trading, I'll tell you that. How does J-Rob trade affect Michael Carter? I mean, it could. We don't know, but give me Michael Carter over J-Rob, who's got to learn the offense and come in and play as he's still recovering from his Achilles tear, bro. You know, he's still got I don't know if he passed the physical already or whatever, but JJ for Saquon and Waddle or Henry and Cooper. Give me JJ for Saquon and Waddle. Punch it, do it live. That's good enough.
You've just...
You know what I'm saying? Nice job. Nice job, broski. $5 hauler. We got two $20 back-to-backs that I didn't get to yet from ET and Joseph. Dropping $20 haulers back-to-back.
Mashed potatoes!
I'm sorry I didn't see those until right now. $20 haulers I usually handle right away, ASAP. Need some help, Smitty. Got CMC, Eno, Dylan, Foreman, Rashad White, AJ Brown, Waddle, Sutton, Kelsey, Pitts. Got an offer to give Kelsey straight up for ETN. I also have Swift and St. Brown owner interested in a trade, including Kelsey. I would take Swift and St. Brown for Kelsey straight up. Would I want to get more for Kelsey than ETN? Yes. Kelsey's worth a little more than ETN at this moment. You need to get something else. I love ETN, bro, but you were going after. He's giving you Kelsey. Got an offer to give. No, you're giving Kelsey straight up for ETN. I also have an offer. Swift and St. Brown owner interested in trading Kelsey. So yeah, you're including Kelsey. So you're giving up Kelsey. You got to get more. You can't go buy. Bro, you're buying at the ultimate peak, Joseph. I hate to say it this way, and especially after you drop the $20 hauler, but I got to be honest with you. Like, you're chasing this at the wrong time. You're trying to get to the party when the ticket sales are through the roof. You know what I mean? Like, you're waiting till the last minute to get in on it in this particular league. And I just think that you're going to end up destroying your team if you're trying to get into ETN at an all-time high value. Like, you got to be smart with it and realize that Kelsey's a gem, bro, and you should be getting ETN and something nice, not something small, not ETN straight up. I love ETN, but this is an overreaction to wanting to get into the ETN game because you feel like you want to get to the party, bro. We're all at the party, and where are you? Where's Joseph? Did somebody call Joseph? Joseph wasn't invited. Get Joseph over here. And Joseph, you're buying your way into this party at a high cost of entry, my guy. I want you here. I want you in the party. We want you as a part of the Moon Men celebration.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
But we definitely need you to not destroy or dismantle the team. This one from ET, PPR, Godwin, Allen. I assume that's Keenan Allen, Sutton, Van Jefferson, Henry, Aaron Jones. So I assume that's Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, Jacobs, Walker, Hunt, Waller, Hurst. League mate lost Brees, wants to trade for Gabe Davis for Walker, was thinking of countering Hopkins. He has Chase, Pierce, D-Hop, Pickens. Wait a minute, bro. E.T. He's offering you Gabe Davis. He wants to trade Gabe Davis for your Walker.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
You tell him, E.T., that I don't appreciate him trying to take advantage of my followers. The dude just happened to call you up and say, hey, guy, yeah, I lost Brees Hall. I was wondering, can you give me a top 5 running back for Gabe Davis? No? Okay, no? Okay. Well, what about Hopkins? Hopkins. What do you, bro? No. Like, let me put this in perspective, ET. You're sitting on a gold mine. and Kenneth Walker. He could be a top 5 overall player going forward. Like, he needs to give you Jamar Chase. And if he says one of these things, no, I can't give you Jamar Chase for, then you don't get Walker. You don't get Walker. Plain and simple. You can't play ball if you don't show up to the field with your bat and your mitt and the ball, bro. Like, you can't just show up and expect everybody to bring everything for you. Patriots defense, interception. Field stinks. Patriots, this is over. Zappy season. The Bears were up 10-0. Belichick said, put in Zappy. Now the Bears are on the momentum is shifted. This game is already over, I can tell you. The Patriots are still down by 3, but it's over. The momentum shifted. Back to this. Let me put it in perspective, ET, and I appreciate your super chat, and I want you to take this in a positive way. I'm not trying to rip you apart. You're my boy, and you just dropped a $20 hauler, but I'm trying to give you good and great advice. I wouldn't take Hopkins and Gabe Davis for Walker. So unless he's giving you Jamar Chase, and I don't even know if I take that. Bro. Not an RB like Walker. So absolutely not. ET, make sure you bring this to me. This is why I have the text line, for stuff like this. So make sure you get on over to the Fantasy Football Show. If anybody needs me to answer a question, get on my text line. But I mean, goodness gracious, bro. Did Smitty did my super chat get skipped? When did you drop, King? No, you just dropped it like 5 minutes ago, King. There are people who've been waiting a half hour for a table, bro. Like, hold on a second. I'm getting to you, broski. Just hang tight. Dak, Cousins, Brees, Cook, ETN, Pollard, Madison, Hendo, JJ, Higgins, Allen, Sutton, Andrews, Gus, or Mark Andrews rest for $4. What's that mean? Mark Andrews rest $4. I don't know what that means. But anyway, team's looking good. I mean, obviously Brees Hall hurt. JJ Higgins, Mark Andrews, ETN. I mean, I like it. It's you could use something. I mean, JJ and Higgins is really, really good, but maybe you potentially look to shop. I mean, you got Cook and ETN though. I think you're okay. I think I probably look to trade Cook into Swift somehow and just take that gamble, but make sure you try and get Jamal Williams with it, or you just let this ride. You let it ride. You got Madison. You go in with Dak. You hope Dak bounces back. You go in with Dak. Maybe you buy low on Herbert, Justin Herbert, using Dak and something. I'd maybe do that. I'd maybe use like Sutton or something like that to get that done. You get a Herbert and he bounces back, and you got Cook, ETN, JJ Higgins, Keenan Allen comes back. You got Herbert. You got the stack, and then Andrews pops off. You're back in it, bro. You're back in it. I like that. I like that idea a lot. That's probably where I would take this. David, Sorcerer of the Day, just got ETN for DJ Moore. Oh my God, bro. Are you lying to me? You better not be lying.
Got him.
The Sorcerer of the Day is
Magic Man.
I mean, really, bro. Really. You got ETN for DJ Moore. Absolute. Look, Zappy's a surgeon on the field. This Zappy kid is unreal. I mean, what a momentum shift. Like, you could feel it. You could feel the Bears' life is sucked out of them. I'd almost bet my life on this, on the fact that the Patriots are winning this game now. It's just like the Bears, they have no momentum, whatever. There's no life left. They were up 10-0. I mean, Zappy just looks fantastic. David, Sorcerer of the Day, congrats again, bro. Congrats. Awesome job. Super chat by Beep. Should I trade Henry and Steve-O for Swift and ETN? So Henry and Stevenson for Swift and ETN. I'd probably take, I mean, it's a little bit of a risk. Oh, Stevenson! Ramondre time. Ramondre Stevenson. Get on your horse, Ramondre. I love the Zappy shift. The momentum, Stevenson at the goal line. I love seeing Stevenson at the goal line. Dude is a wrecking ball. Untouched. Here, Stevenson, walk this in. Keep your uniform clean. Don't be getting that dirty. You're wearing the same uniform next week. We're not doing any laundry, Stevenson. You keep upright. Don't let anybody take you to the ground. I want you untouched into the end zone. Go. On 3. Hut. Blue, 32. Clean laundry, 77. Blue, 32. Dude, walk straight in, untouched. Look at Zappy marching this team back. Unbelievable. What is it, 14-0? 14-10? 14-10. Unbelievable. This Zappy kid's good. So I'm going to say there's risk on all sides here. I mean, Stevenson looked pretty good. He just ran that in. Good timing. Hendy and Stevenson for Swift and ETN. What are we thinking after that Stevenson touchdown? What's the chat think here? Would you rather have Henry and Stevenson or Swift and ETN? I'm thinking everyone's going to say Swift and ETN, but there's risk in that. I mean, he's at his bye week already. If you need a spark, I'd probably go Swift and ETN. No more Swift, Stevenson, Harris time. I don't think so. I don't think so, broski. I'm going to say, let's see what the chat says. I'm getting to the super chats. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to roll through them. What's it? Henry and Ramondre, Swift and ETN. James vomits. What about, why are you vomiting, James? 100%. Swift and ETN. Stevenson is the 1.1 now, says Joe. Swift side. Henry, Stevenson side. Swift side. Zappy crushing it. Stevenson side. I'm going to go ETN Swift, but, I mean, there's risk involved. Make sure you understand that, because we don't even know what the status of Swift is this week. Someone wants to swap QBs, Hurts and Burrow. I also did Debo Swift for CDJT. Debo Swift for CD. I take CDJT, and I would personally rather have, I suppose I'd rather have Hurts because he's already had the bye. That's the only, they're very, very close, but I feel like that's a pretty, I prefer Burrow more per game, but that's a pretty big deal. And I guess it depends on your record. If you don't care about a win or a loss here or there, then I guess I take Burrow. Someone wants to swap QBs, Hurts for Burrow. Oh, I already got to that one. I like Burrow more, like in a vacuum. It's just if you have to consider that you've got 3 wins or 4 wins, you need every win you can get. Pitts, Kirk, B-Rob for Waddle, Singletary, Ingram. Pitts, Kirk, B-Rob for Waddle, Singletary, Ingram. Give me Waddle, Singletary, Ingram, just because Waddle's the best player in the deal. King, here's your super chat, King. I got you right here, buddy boy. King, Dak, JT, CMC, CD, Pitts, Kittle, Mostert. Any moves? Oh, it's Pittman. Pittman, not Pitts. No, because, like, what are you going to trade, No one's giving you what you deserve for JT. No one's probably giving you, after this week, anything you want for CMC. You're going to have to wait. CD Lamb's undervalued. Pittman's undervalued. There's not a move to make yet. Maybe we address this next week, but you're kind of sitting still, bro. Collusion with the $5 hauler. Smitty, Herschel Walker traded from the Cowboys to the Vikings. Let's go. Appreciate you, Collusion.
To the moon.
Collusion is my bro. Angus just got sent. Trade my CD for ETN. Look, I can understand somebody keeping CD, but give me ETN. He's like he's as valuable, if not, or he's more valuable. I would rather have ETN. He's a running back, but that's me. I mean, we could be overhyping him a little bit, but I don't think so. I mean, we've been talking about him like this all season long. We drafted him in the 3rd round, so clearly we love ETN. I don't think it's an overvalue. It's just we're reacting. We're reactive, but I don't think we're wrong. Doesn't make us wrong just because we're getting excited. Trade Higgins for London and ETN. Give me ETN. Brown and Lamb. Give me ETN. ETN's more valuable than Higgins, bro. London's not moving the needle for me. Ron Navy says Mac Jones did me good in Pick'em. He threw an INT. Attaboy, Ron Navy. Ron Navy in the building, everybody. Drop a Ron Navy emoji. $5 hauler. Smitty, I'm 3-3. Got Kirk, Eckler, Debo, Pittman. Got some wide receiver for trades, but zero running back depth. Is Eckler worth moving? Can't win now. If you can't win now, then you answer your own question. He's worth moving, but just make sure you get a lot. Maybe make sure you get a St. Brown and a Swift equivalent. Make sure you're getting a massive amount of return, bro, on your investment. You can't be doing a trade where you're not getting a severe upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be. You've got to make sure you're holding and standing pat, or you're going and getting an absolute killer trade. So make sure you're not making a move that you're going to regret later. Where was that question at? So Debo, you might not be able to trade on the high yet, but you could definitely trade Eckler and get like a Swift and something. I'd start with Swift. JJ for Saquon, Waddle, or ETN. Give me Saquon and ETN any day of the... Oh, no. Saquon and Waddle or ETN and CD. Probably Saquon and Waddle, but I love ETN. Can you get Saquon and ETN? I'd much rather have that. Amon-Ra for ETN plus CD. Also Amon-Ra for ETN. I'd probably rather have ETN than Amon-Ra, but I love Amon-Ra. I love both of them. That's a tough one. Stop it, Smitty. The ball was tipped. Game not over. What, you think the Bears have a shot? It's probably because you put a bet on it. Let's get the fireplace back on. Should I trade Swift for Chase? I have ETN. I would take Chase in a heartbeat, bro, regardless of what you have going on in your roster. That doesn't even matter. Carrie, $5 holler. Team is Burrow, Eckler, Pierce, Lamb, Higgins, Waller, A.J. Brown, benches, Jeff Wilson, Tua, Taysom Hill, Devontae, Lost, Breeze, need depth. Pierce, Eckler, you're good at running back, though. Burrow, Lamb, Higgins, A.J. Brown. I don't think you can make any moves. I don't think you can. I mean, the only move you can make, I don't think you're going to get what you want from Pierce. I don't think you're going to get what you want from Lamb or Higgins. I don't think you're going to get... You could probably trade Burrow if you wanted. You listen to offers for Burrow, and it's got to be like Hurts and A.J. Brown type of player. I know you got A.J. Brown, but that's my example of value. You need Hurts and A.J. Brown. You need Herbert and A.J. Brown. Burrow's playing that good. If you can't get that, you walk away from the table. You just don't care. I don't care if I'm asking too much. I'm the one who knocks. Okay? If you want to take Herbert and A.J. Brown, it's a little bit of a gamble, but at least A.J. Brown's good enough and Herbert has a chance of bouncing back. But, that's the only thing I'm looking at with Burrow. As far as Eckler, it's got to be the Swift, Amon-Ra, St. Brown type of value package that you're getting. Otherwise, you walk away from the table. You got a good enough team to at least sit back for another week. I don't think you got to make any moves at all. I probably would if you feel like you can't, win with that. Let's go to the rapid fire chat real quick.
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
Rapid fire, you know the drill. Only short questions. I'm not reading anything that's more than one sentence long. If you post your entire team, you're not going to get an answer. You all trade CMC for ETN and Godwin. I probably take CMC, I suppose, in this particular situation, but it's very close and arguable. The super chat from Mike. Mike says, would you move Hurts and Kyron Williams for Higgins and Dotson? No, I have Burrow. I would get more. You can get more. That's not a good enough deal. Let's see here. Olave Mixon for JT. Give me JT all day long on that one. Moonwalking every week. Thanks, Smitty. Appreciate you. Killer, you the man. Cook or ETN. Give me ETN. JJ for Swift and Sun God. Give me Swift and Sun God over JJ. Mooney and Herbert for Sanders. If that's Khalil Herbert, then I'd rather have Sanders. Too long of a question. Pick up Michael Carter still. Yeah, I would. Kamara or ETN. Give me ETN. Pearson, Burrow, receive Devontae Adams. Give me Pearson, Burrow. Kamara or ETN. Honestly, I like ETN more. I try and get more, though. Understand that you can in some context. JJ for Swift and Amon-Ra. Already answered that. Yes. Pierce and A.J. Brown, very equivalent. Mark. It depends which one you want. Wide receiver or running back. They're both very, very equal. I would say dead even. That's a great target for either side if you need to switch up from running back to wide receiver or wide receiver to running back. No problem spamming. It's okay. I forgive you. A.J. Brown for ETN and Metcalf. Give me ETN and Metcalf. I'd take ETN probably straight up. You give me a Metcalf. I'll wait on Metcalf. Evans, and Olave for Henry and McLaurin. If that's Derrick Henry, I'd take Derrick Henry and McLaurin. A.J. Brown, I already got that one. Try not to paste it too many times in a row, guys. I get you're trying to get an answer, but was Chase for Walker and Sutton a good deal? I think Walker, I think it's pretty even. I think Chase has more value, and I don't know that I like Sutton at all. So, like, you probably could have got more if you were getting the Walker side, but I like it. It's still quietly amazing. Lamb and Swift, very even. If you need a running back or you need a wide receiver, I go either side of that one. Judy or Pittman? Pittman by a mile. Who's Judy? Is Judy even playing, Pyro? This is a recorded segment, Pyro. This isn't even live, Pyro. And I'm telling you right now, I'm from the future, Pyro. This isn't in the past. This is pre-recorded from the future. And Pittman's blasting Judy into the abyss. So, Pyro, Pittman all day. And by the way, this is live. JT or ETN, you got to take JT, but like you could trade JT for ETN and something, and that would be pretty nice. Pittman or ETN, give me Travis Etienne over Michael Pittman. Debo or for ETN and Pierce, give me ETN. Oh, Debo for ETN or Pierce. Give me ETN over Pierce. Give me ETN over Debo, and at me if you want. Is DeAndre Swift worth trading for? Absolutely. We've been talking about it for like 2 hours straight. For sure. Henry and Debo for JJ. Henry and Debo is better than JJ, but, you know, you could break that up if you wanted to. You know, I'm never going to live that down. It's all right, Pyram. You're still my dude, bro fist. It's just part of the show, bro. You've woven yourself into the content. That's all it is. Lenny for Swift. Give me Swift. Alec Pierce, he's okay rest of season. CD or Stevenson for JT. Give me JT. Pittman or James Robinson. Who's James Robinson? Is that guy that's going to play backup to Michael Carter? Give me Michael Pittman. CD and Stevenson for J. You know what we're going to do, Pyram? Pyram, don't think of this as a negative. I'm going to write down this little idea here that we're doing because I always forget. But we're going to do a From the Future Smitty segment. You ask me something that's ridiculous, and I'm going to go to Smitty in the future, and we'll pull that scene up, and we'll, oh, look at this. Is that Khalil Herbert? Is that Khalil Herbert? That's Khalil Herbert!
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Herbert season, baby. 25-yard TD reception. Man, Herbert's so good. Herbert. Wait, I wonder where have we seen Herbert before? Where have we seen Herbert before?
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
There he is. That's where we've seen him before. We knew we recognized the little rascal. There he is right there. Space Monster indeed. In waiting, we're not going to get overly excited, but like if this guy ever gets, turned to full time, Herbert is going to absolutely explode. Ada just said Herbert just won in the week, so fantastic job. We ended the rapid fire on that one. Herb got him stashed too. He's a moon man. Guys, I'm going to end this live stream and come right back and do a breaking ETN news live stream. I don't know that I'm going to stay long. I just want to have a separate video on this ETN clip. So 248 of you watching. I'm going to end this. I'm going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to relaunch a live stream. So I want every single one of you back live here in 5 minutes. We're going live here in a second. Appreciate you all. Ron Navy with a super chat. Ron Navy says, Herbert says, stop it, Smitty. Game not over yet. Misspoke. It's true. But Ron, you needed me to do that if you were needing some scoring to go on. So part of that is potentially by design. so that I can help the game get more scoring. All right, I'll be back in a second. I need everybody to come back. I'll be here in 5 minutes. Okay, or less than 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. I'm going live again.